And we are live.
Oh, hi.
Maybe up
Oh,
another
hi.
5%.
Howdy.
Meowdy.
Howdy there, folks.
Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to International Headache Day.
Yep.
Yep.
We've all been suffering it today.
I'm
Yep.
still suffering it.
Me too, brother.
Right now, the ibuprofen is working. We'll see how long that lasts.
That's
It tried to
good.
come back a little bit ago, and then it went away again. So
Luckily, it's not as bad as it was earlier because I went to the chiropractor and that helped a lot. But
That pop your back and all of a sudden your headache's just like gone.
well,
It's like,
yeah,
oh.
it's my neck because my neck actually curves the wrong way. Like most people's necks go like this, mine goes like this, and so like I have to get regular chiropractic care to kind of realign my bone structure. Otherwise, it pinches some nerves back there, which causes the migraines and stuff. So it
Okay.
sucks. Yeah.
I've thought about being a chiropractor for mine because I have a tendency to crack my neck a lot, and my head does hurt just on my own. And no, it's not good for me.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it the right way.
I always recommend chiropractors.
Yep.
Yep. Anyone who's ever had to actually go to one, it's like they're
Yeah.
great, they're wonderful.
My miracle cure is Excedrin, and I can't have that until I'm done breastfeeding. So I'm like,
Oh.
well, son of a bitch, ibuprofen only takes the edge off, but
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. I'm that person that does. You recommend 2 pills of ibuprofen? That's not what I'm taking.
No, I did like 4,
Yeah, it's
4
like-
plus.
I usually, the 800 milligram.
Yep.
They're
For a
like,
bad headache, yeah.
you should only take one. It's like,
Like
this sounds like a personal opinion, and I want this headache gone before tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
no.
like that's cute.
Well,
I
Shadow
wanna-
bought some ibuprofen that I had to do a double take because I've
Mhm.
never seen like them in the 500
Mhm.
milligrams, and I was like, so I only need to take 2. Glorious.
Forget what I think it was when I was working retail. The only time they sold them, and the only one I could get at the time was like 200 milligram caps, and I'm like,
And that's the norm. Yeah.
well, this is useless.
Yeah. Guess I'm
I've looked
chugging
at
it
my-
like candy.
I have looked at my doctor like, oh yeah, just take one ibuprofen. I looked at him like, who does this work for?
Yeah, because it ain't me.
Nope.
Are you like 5 feet tall and like under 100 pounds? Because maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, I require at least 800 milligrams of ibuprofen for any kind of pain management because I've been on so many different type of painkillers that it's just like I've got pretty high drug resistance.
Yeah,
So-
unfortunately, it sucks having that high drug resistance, but
I don't take anything.
You just
Says the
suffer.
man sitting there with G Fuel next to him. If I don't take anything, shake, shake, shake. Like, nah, I'm alive.
Caffeine is the only thing I have.
Yeah, I can sometimes get away with 600 milligrams depending on what the pain is.
And no
Okay.
pre-screen, we don't have pill problems. We've got old person problems. It's
Yeah.
a different problem.
Yeah.
Speaking of headaches,
I forgot to put
Yeah,
that.
we got one of those
coming.
Yeah, we got one.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a headache headed your way. But I think it's a continuation, I'd say, of the headache that came your way last session, where you found yourselves having to defend Reen while she concentrated on the 24-hour-long ritual to hopefully free Isa from this curse or infliction, whatever it is that happens to be killing her slowly, painfully. Your troubles began with several forest creatures emerging from the nearby woods and looking none too happy that you were in the area. You had a couple of dire wolves, I believe it was a giant boar and a giant elk, attack you after emerging from the woods. And you happened to notice as well that there was a strange green glow in their eyes. The forest creatures weren't too much of a problem for you guys, and you dispatched them fairly quickly, and had a brief moment of reprieve afterwards, but noticed that the sounds and the thumping and the movement coming from the forest continued beyond this. So this wasn't going to be the end of your troubles, and there was more to come, but you did have a moment to rest, which you took. And soon after, you were once again beset upon by creatures from the forest. This time it was a thurser giant, which is essentially just a giant dwarf. So on the small end for giants, but still quite strong. And it was accompanied by 2 Barghest, which were these like ape-like quadruped creatures with very long, sharp teeth. After a bit of a battle with those things, expending a few more of your resources, you were able to defeat them and took the opportunity afterwards to loot the body of the giant, and in the process found a bag of holding and a staff. I believe it was a staff of flowers. And the bag of holding, after investigating its contents, you found I think it's fair to say massive pile of gold, well, copper, silver, and gold, as well as a fairly decent-sized pile of dirt.
Don't trust it.
You took some time to put the gold and the dirt back into the bag, a little cautious, perhaps, as to why this giant had this bag, and once again took the opportunity to heal up and rest as the ruckus from the woods continued. About an hour and 45 minutes or so had passed up to this point. The sun had set. Night had just begun when you were once again beset upon by more creatures. This time, one from the north and one from the southwest. They were unlike any of the other creatures up to this point. You were first alerted to their presence when some of your group spotted what looked to be small clouds of black smoke wisping and writhing through the air at a pretty good speed towards you guys. Eventually emerging from these clouds of smoke were small, glowing red eyes, followed by a lizard-like face, and eventually a pair of wings and a dragon-like body. Though the creatures themselves are not too big, they are about, I think I said 4 to 5 feet in length, in total length. So they aren't huge dragons like you'd expect from a draconic species. Fairly small, but nonetheless threatening and aimed straight towards you guys. You have about 30 seconds before they get within your range. If there is anything that anyone wants to do or attempt to prepare beforehand, you do have a very brief moment for that.
I mean, you guys kind of know what Xena's gonna do, so if my spellcasters want to go.
Zara's gonna take out the other elemental gem that she has, and she's gonna use it to summon some of the elemental contained within it, which
Okay,
I
and
believe is
which
the water
gem?
elemental.
Water elemental, okay.
No, it's the air elemental. I used the water elemental in the other fight.
Thought you used the air one in the other fight.
Okay. It's one or the other.
Yeah, I think we used the air one when Xena was being dragged off.
Yeah.
Kept
No,
trying to
that's
throw things
yeah,
in
that's
the air.
right.
Yeah.
That's right, because he kept on trying to cyclone everything.
Yep.
All right, so it's the water elemental.
We'll drop that guy on the map here and give you control of it. Ooh, this guy's tough.
Also, currently not on the battle map. At least I'm not.
Same here.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the big map.
I would have moved you guys over 1 second.
No problem.
I mean, it's fine. They can be several squares away. It'd take them days to reach us.
Yeah.
It's fine with us.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Probably
If we
take a
can
second
see
to
them
load in,
from
but
days out, I don't want to fight them.
Exactly.
yeah, that would be troubling.
That becomes
Um,
less the
Dragon
fact,
that does happen with.
yeah, that becomes the fact that they look that small now. How big are they when they get close up?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And they, because it's night and because of this black smoky cloud that seems to be engulfing these creatures, the only way you can really make out their forms is from the backdrop of the night sky, as well as the glow coming from their eyes. So mechanic wise, they would have an amount of cover from this just because they're so difficult to see at this distance. But once they're actually upon you, then it'll be fine.
So when the minute it's within range of, yeah, like 120, let me know. Is it, or it's already in range, isn't it? Or are you
It'll be getting within range fairly quickly.
okay? So yeah, just let me know when it's within 120. If I'm sure that picture's not accurate to where it's at right now, right?
Do I
Oh no,
have
that's the
pieces
elemental.
along that?
Sorry,
That's an
Tara's
elemental. That's
Yeah.
not.
Okay.
I will actually, since you do see them coming, I will reveal them on the map. There is one up to the north, top of the map there, and one. Turn check is in the way. Okay, there we go. Southwest, bottom left corner of the map.
And right now that's just the direction they're coming in. They're not.
That's the direction they're coming in.
Yeah, so he's actually further away than that, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So I'm readying my javelin, just a normal javelin right now for when they're 120 feet within range. Or actually, oh wait, yeah, no, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah.
Okay. So, is there anything anyone else is readying?
I'm gonna do the same thing as before, where I take out the gilded skull and put it in the ground. And as only this time, as the skull tries to create the rest of its body, the skeletal form, as soon as it's complete, it starts to go transparent and have all these torn and tattered cloths, almost like a Grim Reaper. It's like a hooded figure with the bony hands and everything. You can't even see its feet with all the tattered clothing as she summons the undead spirit form.
Okay.
She's summoning Basil.
You still have control of that zombie on the board there.
Is it Basil Faulty?
It's Basil.
Basil?
Does this one still have that same aura that the other one did, or is it different?
This one's different. Actually, I don't even think this one has that kind of aura. Let me just double check. No, it doesn't have an aura.
Okay. That circle.
We're good.
How fast are these
All
things flying?
They are flying. Let's see. At a speed of about 120 feet per round.
Okay. So I want to prep a spell against this guy to the south as soon as he is over land, like not over the abyss. portion of this map.
Okay. So is this a cantrip or a leveled spell?
It's a leveled spell, so I want to be ready to trigger it when it hits that zone.
Okay. And what about Xerax and Isa, if Isa's doing anything?
One second.
Oh. Did we roll initiative freshly for this already? I wasn't sure if it triggered. Or...
I have the
Nope.
tracker up. I have not called for initiative yet.
Oh, okay.
Nope, I am not doing anything spell-wise, preemptively.
Spells? What are spells?
One person waves the fingers and it goes like that, and things happen.
Either does not have any spell-like capabilities, and I didn't say anything yesterday, last week about having anything brought to me, so I still have like nothing.
You're gonna have to hold on. We're not done saving you yet.
So, we will, we'll go with Xena's held action, because that's the one that will go off first as they reach within 120 feet. And right after that, we will roll initiative.
Am I allowed to make a held action reckless or no?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
I mean, all it does is gives you advantage, but it gives them advantage on you. So,
yeah. Okay.
kicks you in the butt as much as it does them.
Yep. So
Even more so
reckless-
when you're surrounded.
Oh, that sucked ass. 16.
16 will hit.
Oh, okay, good. Lol. Really? Stupid dice.
That dice now and dice Joe.
Just 6 points of
6 points,
piercing
okay.
damage.
So you throw your javelin at this thing, and you hit exactly where you intend to hit. And as it's flying towards this javelin, this creature opens its mouth, and the javelin almost goes like right down its throat, but it passes through the other end of the creature, and you see its form kind of shift a bit, like waving your hand through a cloud of smoke. You can see the smoke distort and swirl in the wake of your hand. It does the damage, but that is noteworthy about what you've just seen.
It's cheating.
And on that note, we will roll initiative.
Okay.
Now, Fox, I think you had mentioned last week that these rocks around the circle are fairly tall.
Yes, the rocks around the circle vary in height between 5 and 8 feet.
I think you had said that the one behind me currently is 8 feet, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, we're all clumped up in a similar initiative number.
Okay, so
Jesus.
these things
Yeah.
are still not quite on the map. They're both, well, the one in the north is about 120 feet away from Xena, and the one in the southwest is about 120 feet away from Xerax. So they're not quite on the map yet, but are within range for some spells and ranged attacks. So we will start off with you, Zara.
Trying to see if I have anything that could reach it at this point.
What are those
Can I
things?
retcon a little something then? Seeing as how the distance is now known.
Yes.
So instead of reading that spell, I would like to cast Dragon's Breath on my little tiny servant there.
Okay. Yep. You can absolutely do that. And that would have gone off about the same time that Xena's did.
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, I can actually do something. That's good. I am going to. Zara's going to walk up to Xena, place a hand on her shoulder, and cast resistance.
To what?
So before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number to one rolled saving throw of its choice.
Mm.
It can roll the die before or after making the saving throw.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right.
She's gonna
Anything else from you?
move up here and command the water elemental a little bit farther up.
It obeys as a summoned creature usually does.
For now.
And
Usually.
they don't always, but Reen is busy. Yixis, you're up.
Okay. Now I am going to prepare the spell that I was thinking of before. Same conditions. Once it is over solid land and not over the edge.
Okay. You are preparing that spell. Are you having your familiar or tiny servant do anything?
It will. Sorry, I don't want to give away what I'm thinking about doing, but it will prepare to attack once my held action goes off.
Okay. So Xena, you're up.
Xena wants to go cut them up. So she's gonna move. Can she get there is the question. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Darn it. Okay, she will move as far as she can move up anyway. So that'll be 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 30. That's as close as she can get. But then she's going to bonus action rage. Oh no, I don't have my
Rage
sheet
going.
up. Where's my sheet? Oh, then I can pull it up real fast. Path of Wild Magic. There it is. Okay.
I keep forgetting about that too.
6. Until your rage ends, you are surrounded by multicolored protective lights. You gain a +1 to AC. And while anyone is within 10 feet of you, your allies gain the same bonus. This one likes to show up. All right.
Good one.
It does. It is a
Sounds
good
like
one.
a pretty
Yeah.
darn good one.
It is a good one. So I'm not mad about it. I was hoping for the magic axe though.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So I'm gonna take the. I have a question about the lightning javelin.
Yes.
When I throw it, if it doesn't hit something, does the charge go off still, or does it only go off when it hits something?
That is a good question. Find out.
Because the description kind of made it sound like it could go either way. Because I have to say a command word, and it transforms into a bolt of lightning. But I've been throwing it with the intention of if it hit to trigger the lightning. So
It is your choice. You can choose to trigger the lightning or not trigger the lightning.
Can I wait until it hits or not, or do I have to
Let's
say it and
see.
then throw it and just hope it hits?
The lightning happens before it hits the target.
Okay, so then I have to kind of say it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that's gone. That charge is gone, but it's still magical. So
Yes.
just keep that in mind in case that makes a difference here, I guess. And I'm gonna
Okay.
throw that one at it, but
Okay.
no lightning, unfortunately, because the lightning never wants to come out and play. And this is gonna be reckless as well.
Okay.
Okay. And that's going to be 18 plus 8. So
That will
20
hit.
something. It's still, yeah, it's just a d6. That's better. Okay. 10 points of piercing damage.
10 points of piercing damage. Very nice. Okay. And much like the other javelin, this one goes right down this creature's gullet, doing full damage, but passes out the backside and continues sailing through the air over the
Okay.
cliff.
Over the cliff? There's a
Yes.
cliff. Oh, I forgot
Yes.
there was a cliff.
Yep, there is.
Oh no.
So that's
That's the lightning
that'll
javelin.
be down there somewhere.
I will recover this thing.
It'll give Cena a project for later.
Yeah.
I wondered where you were going with that, whether you remembered that there was a cliff there or not.
Because
Okay.
my vision of the map at the time did not, and I must have forgotten you describing that, because all I can see of the map is it's green behind it. I didn't
Yeah,
see
you
that.
should
forgot we were
be
on,
able
like,
to
a
see
corner.
along the northern edge of the map there in the top right corner. You can see a bit of the cliff edge, and then in the top left
Yeah, I see
corner
there
as well.
and there. I didn't know
that goes
that it
loops
was.
around.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Xena probably would not have thought of that, even though she just saw one javelin go. She's in the heat of battle, and it's too far away from her. So
It's okay. On the plus
Totally fair.
side, you saw the direction it went in. So
Yep.
should you want to go down the side of the mountain at some point and look for it, you certainly can.
all right. So that's
All right.
me.
Xerax, you're up.
Goody. Is the other one on the map, or am I just blind?
The tokens are both on the map at the moment, but they are still a ways out.
Okay,
Oh, there
there's
it
the
is.
one
in the
to the
bottom
north,
left.
but yeah.
The one in the bottom left
Oh, there he is.
is about 120 feet away from you.
Okay,
At the
I am gonna hold until he approaches not being over the edge of the cliff.
Okay,
I don't want to end up like that javelin.
that's fair. Isa, are you doing anything or standing still?
Stand still. Just keep an eye on everything. She will
All right.
only attack if something comes within range of the circle. And those trying to keep it up.
Okay. Subira.
Yeah, I'm on the same. I'm in the same boat as Xerax, where I'm gonna hold an action until this thing is within view. I'll go ahead and I'll hold. I'll do a sacred flame. I'll hold that. And then immediately after me goes my little ghostly dude, and he actually has a pretty fast fly speed, so he is going to make it all the way there.
Very nice.
That is him dashing though, so that is all he can do right now. But now he's just hovering there, like, look at me, buddy, come get me.
Okay,
Ooh.
Is he hovering at ground level, or did he fly up, like diagonally up?
He kind of pulled a Dementor and just kind of like just flew. And his they hover. So they can. It does say fly speed quote hover.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
their
so they can
movement.
hover in place.
Yeah. So
I-
according to the guides for the undead, the different spirits, since I have a choice of 3, 2 of them have a speed of 30. The ghost has a speed of 40, which is considered a fly, but it's really a hover.
Gotcha. Okay, so I
So
will mark him
it's
with
40.
a wing so we know he's hovering.
Yeah. He's just hovering though. He's not like he's way up in the air or anything like that. I mean, he can.
Alright.
It is a fly speed. It's just he's just going straight.
So that will bring us to first of my creatures. I was really hoping they wouldn't be at the bottom of the turn order, but they are.
Sure rolled better.
Don't taunt the DM.
No.
Yeah, don't sass the DM. Come on, bro.
I can't help it.
He sasses everyone.
For
Rowden
us
does that,
and
and look at him.
chat, Can we get a blown up view of one of these things?
Yeah, you sure can. Oh, that's not how to do it. There we go.
Oh, that's not what I
these
thought they
guys
were.
look like.
No,
Aw.
not what I thought they were.
They look like well-defined gentlemen.
They do.
They're
They
very
seem
dignified, Drakes.
Yeah, a
They
little
look like they're
dignified
gonna
looking
offer you tea
reptilian.
before beating you to
Yeah.
death.
Xena wants
They
to kill
might.
it so bad. She's so mad that
And,
things go through it.
They are both surrounded by this cloud of black smoke that seems to be originating from their wings. Like each time they flap their wings, you can see more of this smoke billow out around them.
Can we make a
Wait.
cloak out of that? Because
So I
that'd
just
be
make a
amazing.
smoke trail.
Pretty much, yeah, smoke trail. This one here is still too far away to do anything. However, he will fly. What's the range on your held sacred flame, Subira?
I'm sorry, I had a mouthful of food. What was that?
What's the range on sacred flame?
Oh, Sacred Flame is let me pull that up. 60 feet.
60 feet, okay. So he will certainly get within range. He's going to have to dash. So once he moves forward about 70 feet, your held action will go off.
Okay. He needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw is an 18.
Hold on, I'm checking my DC. I think that beats it, but still, let me just double check. Balls. Yeah, it does. Well, when I don't want to
Okay.
waste 2 level actual spells,
that's
I have
fair.
to do it with
That's fair.
cantrips.
That's what cantrips are for.
Yep. So okay, yeah. So unfortunately, it fizzles, since he saved. So that's all that happens for me then for my held action.
Okay. And he is going to get to about here with his movement. He is 15
That
feet
will-
up in the air, though.
That will trigger mine.
Yep.
I am going to cast one of the new spells I learned. Negative image.
Very nice.
So Yixis takes out the coin and draws a circle in the air in front of him as he crouches down as low to the ground as you can get, and does a little S shape in the middle of the circle. So that looks kind of like a yin yang, and then he takes his hands and he flips it.
Okay. And
So I
That's
need
awesome.
I need a charisma saving throw from him.
Okay.
Please.
is going to be a 16.
I hate you. Go away.
It was a coin toss on that one because he has a +0 to his charisma saves, but
No,
I
that was
assume
gonna
by
be
your
cool. Go
reaction
away.
that saves.
It was exactly the DC.
Valiant effort. But that is all that guy can do because he had to dash for that. And the other one has to dash as well, seeing that it has a party waiting for it. It is going to dash over to here, remaining 10 feet up in the air. And that brings us back around to Zara.
Does my little ghostly dude get an attack of opportunity? Oh no, because he was up in the air. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Let's see, what is the range that I need to be for this? Doot. What's the range on this thing? Oh, okay, 10 feet.
What is it?
I was looking at poison spray, the Cassius
Gotcha.
special. But
That's just
instead-
like a quick poison spray in your face. Run.
yeah, pretty much. But instead, gonna go there as she, I believe, is it within 30 feet now?
Let's see.
About there, since it's 10 feet up in the air. And just gonna huck produce flame. That
Yes, that
is
is
going to
currently
be
in
a 19.
19 will hit.
Okay. Whopping 4 fire damage.
4 fire damage. Okay, so you fire your produce flame at this thing. What color is
It's fire.
your fire?
It's just
Regular looking
normal,
fire?
boring old fire,
Okay. Fits her personality, I think.
right? Nothing
Um,
special about it. It burns things.
And so the fire strikes this creature, and it sees it coming, and as soon as it is about to make impact, it kind of twists itself in the air and very quickly flies around this fire, doing a bit of a swirl, and you see the light and the embers from this flame engulfed in this black smoke. The center of it illuminating the magical fire. And it does some damage, perhaps not as much as you had hoped.
Well, that confirmed my theory for the test, so that is still a success.
Okay. Anything else from you?
No, but I'm going to command the water elemental to attack, because it's 10 feet off the ground, right?
Yes.
So the water elemental, should, being a large creature, should still be able to reach it.
Yes.
Gonna go up to then, and it's gonna make 2 slam attacks against it.
Okay.
The first one is going to be a 23.
That will hit.
Okay, so it's going to take 9 bludgeoning damage. And then
bludgeoning.
the second attack, natural 20 for a
You're gonna
27.
hurt.
So that we're doing, it's still brutal critical for this thing, right?
Yep.
All right, so it's going to be 39 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. That hurts. A significant impact, this thing. All right. Anything else from you or your summon?
Nope.
All right. She's still doing ritual. Yixis, you're up.
Lots of grumbling and groaning at the previous failure. However, he will. How high off the ground is this guy? You said about 15 feet to the south?
He is 15 feet up.
Let's see here. You. So if my tiny servant were to be able to make it to there, could he or could he not reach it with a 15-foot cone?
If he was there, let's see, 10 feet away, 15-foot cone. Get the old hypotenuse calculator out. He would not. That distance would be 18 feet between
Well, darn.
creature and your servant.
Okay. Well, has he taken any damage? I don't think he has.
Not that one. No.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna do a Toll the Dead anyways.
Okay.
Doesn't
That is
have
a
to have taken damage, but it
wisdom.
helps if it had. Yes, wisdom save, please.
Oh, that's not going to make it. That is an 11.
All right, so it's 2d8. Okay, that's gonna be 13 damage. Necrotic.
I'm still on the ruler. 13 necrotic damage. Okay, you see this thing flinch as that Toll the Dead goes off. Is most certainly not resistant to this type of damage and was not expecting it.
Well, then there you go. I'm also gonna have my tiny servant move up, probably just trying to anticipate its movement, maybe to there. And I have my familiar fly up and be in its face and bother it, because that's all it can do.
All right.
Hopefully it can serve as a distraction and whatnot.
You never know. Xena, you're up.
The elemental, is it like a liquid or a solid form?
It is. It has a liquid body, but it can affect things in a way that a solid creature would.
But probably not going to be good for me to try to jump onto it, though.
You actually can't jump on it. You would it occupies your space, and you would be inside of it. And then you start taking bludgeoning damage because of it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So she
it
won't
can
do that idea.
engulf creatures.
That's why I wanted some clarity on like what does it look like exactly. So instead,
Gotcha. Okay.
this is what I would like to try. So Xena is going to, she's going to run up and use her running long jump to try to get within range to take a swipe at the creature.
Okay.
Let me know what you need me to roll for that. If you need me to do anything. Her strength
since
modifier is a 5.
Since you're doing a long jump, let's go with athletics on that.
Okay.
And if you beat the DC, then you can make the attack.
Okay. Okay. 25.
25? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sweet.
You can absolutely do that. Make your running long jump, and at the apex of that jump, make your swing for a single attack.
Yeah, that's fair. Reckless. Because I gotta make this one hit count. Okay. 25 also to hit.
Absolutely hits.
Doing 12 points of slashing damage.
12 points of slashing. Nice.
So yeah, Xena just runs up, ah! And then falls down. I think that's the only hit she can get in with that running long jump. So that's it for her. And I probably would place her landing, I don't know, here, or where do you think she would land after that?
You land probably right behind it.
Right behind it? Okay. So like right there
Yeah,
or here?
probably right here.
Okay.
So you're kind of coming in at that angle.
And that would waste all my movement, so that's where she's gonna stay. I don't
And
like being right on the edge though, but
That's a bit dangerous.
because
is
because
what
of
it is.
that high athletics roll. Go ahead and give me another athletics roll
Okay.
to see if you can potentially drag this thing down a little bit with that hit.
Nice. I like it. Just straight roll, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't you have advantage on the strength-based things? While you're
I
raging?
do, but I don't need the advantage because that's a nat 20. So
Okay.
Nat 20. Okay. Yeah, you dig your weapon right into this thing with that swing, and manage to pull it right down to the ground. So it's flapping its wings, preventing itself from having to land on the ground, but it is now at ground level because of that swing.
nice. Stay beside me, dance partner.
Very nice.
She's very
Okay.
happy about that. All right, that's it for me. Oh,
right.
no, it's not. I lied. Bonus action, storm aura, 3 points fire damage.
Good call. And is that 5 feet or 10 feet?
10
I think we
feet.
talked about that last session as well. Okay, so the elemental will take that as well.
Okay.
That's not fun. I give you permission to damage my elemental. How much damage is
Tina's
that?
never seen the elemental before either, and so to her, it's another monster anyway.
How much damage was it?
It's 3.
It's just a monster that seems to be helping right now for some reason, so she's saving it for last.
I think that water elemental has plenty of HP to spare right now.
Yeah.
Still.
All right,
All right,
Zarak,
then.
you're up.
The one that's closest to me is how far off the ground is he?
15 feet.
I will hold till it gets closer, or
Okay.
until basically it does something, and then I will worry about what I'm going to do.
All right. Anything from Iza?
No, she's probably shifting around a bit, just kind of, keeping loose, but she's just waiting for them to get close.
Getting ready. All right. Sabira, you're up.
Oh boy, this thing is pretty close. Yeah, screw it. I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
She is gonna go ahead and she's gonna go ahead and cast Mind Spike. It needs to make a Wisdom saving throw as she stares daggers into its soul.
That is going to be a 17.
You know, I have not once set off a spell against anything we have done ever.
Because you're casting the wrong spell.
I'm doing Eldritch Blast. Stop it. Okay, well, it still does damage. It just does half damage is all. Fine. All right.
Half damage is better than no damage.
Yeah.
Welcome to the plight of being a caster.
This is why I stay with melee shit. I don't like failing. Okay.
You can still fail on a melee.
But not
Nice.
as hard. Not as hard. Okay. So 20 half to 10.
Okay.
Psychic damage.
Psychic damage. All right. And what does this mind spike look like?
So when she opens her eyes a little bit wider, just like staring at him, she basically gets it to lock eyes with her, and as soon as it does, this very pale, sickly purple beam just shoots out of the center of her forehead, and it looks like it pierces his and it goes through, almost like it's a bullet being shot through. And if it would have succeeded, you would have seen something cool, but it just goes through and it looks like it just didn't do anything, just all illusionary.
All right. Anything else from you or your weird zombie ghost?
Yes. Basil is going to go ahead and go, woo, let's see, 5, 10, 15. 15. How far up in the air is this guy? Is he like 5 feet now, or?
He's at ground level.
He is at ground level. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So he is right there. Let me pull up his abilities real quick. He is gonna go ahead. Nope, that's just what he can do. Nope, that's not it. So with its little skeletal hand through the cloak, it's going to kind of creepily, very slowly lift it up, and with just the very tip of the finger, just gently touch the drake. And I need it to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
It's like
Saving throw. It's a 19.
fine, whatever. It's just gonna take half damage now.
Okay.
But it won't do its cool extra shit.
You know, it seems to happen every time you cast a spell in each of these different fights. The new save type just happens to be the type that creature is good against.
Huh.
Is it? Is it? Okay, and that's +3 on top of that, so 6, so it's only 3.
3, okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Plus the spells. Oh, okay. The level is 3, so it's technically 9, so it's down to... I can't math right now. 4 or 5?
4, yep.
4 necrotic damage.
Okay.
And it
Takes that
doesn't do
full
the cool
4.
extra stuff. So that's all I can do.
All right. That brings us to the one down here. I think the one down here is going to move right over here, dropping right down to the ground as it does. To look directly at you, Xerix, and then kind of glance behind you at Subira and also at the familiar. It's going to take a deep breath and is going to let out a cone of blistering hot emberous ash that just fires out from its maw. And I need Xerax, Subira, and the familiar to all make dexterity saving throws for me.
You know, I'm proficient in dexterity saves. Never know it, but I am.
I'm not, but I got pretty decent dexterity. Oh, okay. That is a 18. Thank God I rolled high.
6.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh, that's why
Okay.
you said that. You're like, I swear to God, I'm good at this.
And what did the familiar roll?
You're muted.
Apologies. It needs to do a dex.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it will fail, but I will give it a shot.
You have to keep
Is
track
this
of
for
extra.
half?
This is for half, yes.
Well, it rolled a 14.
14. Okay, so Sabira is the only one that made the save. So
Is the damage greater than 5?
yes.
Okay.
So the familiar and Xerax are going to take 16 fire damage. Sabira, you will take half of that. And I also need Xerax to make a Constitution saving throw for me. At advantage.
Sorry, what was the damage again?
Half of 16, so
Oh, okay.
8.
Con save 16.
16 is the number you needed. You are not poisoned.
Yay!
That is the end of that guy's turn. Going
I
up to
beat
this
him
guy
now?
over here. Well, he is at eating level now. He's no longer in the air. This guy is in a bad place, so he is going to go ahead and use a bonus action and apparate into a plume of black smoke, reappearing
What is
right
it?
over here. And then he too is going to use his breath weapon aimed up towards the ghost to
Opportunity
Xena
of
and to the-
attack?
Nope,
Mhm.
Is he
because he
poofed?
teleported.
He poofed.
So, another cone of hot, emberous ash fires out from this thing's maw, and I need Xena, the ghost, and the elemental to all give me dexterity saving throws.
Do I use the resistance thing now?
That is a question for the druid who gave it to you.
Zara?
Yeah,
This
you
is
can.
what that's for.
Yeah, it's for saving throws of your choice.
Oh, but I get to choose afterwards if I want to
Yeah,
use it.
you can choose before or after to use it.
I'm
There's-
dumb. I just now realized that my spirit could have done that attack twice. It has multi attack. Son of a bitch. Oh well.
It was is it a dex saving throw you said?
Yes.
Okay, I get advantage on that.
Dex, what is
Elemental got an 18.
Okay.
Seriously? A 2 and a 1.
Dex?
A 2 and a 1. I'm not using the resistance because there's no point. I take full whatever. However, I am naturally resistant to fire, being the type of barbarian I am. So I have a natural resistance at least.
Basil got 16. Sorry, 17.
17.
He has good
Okay.
dex.
So
bitch.
the ghost and the elemental both saved. So this is going to be 17 total damage. So everyone takes half of that. So
And
that would be 8.
so
Okay.
when he pops into the area, I'm gonna use my reaction to use Halo of Spores, make him do a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. That is going to be a 14.
Ah, he failed. He's gonna take 6 necrotic damage.
6 necrotic. All right. And that brings us right around to you, Zara.
All right. He is right in my face. You know what? I think it's time to finally get stabby with this sword. So, gonna grab the 9 life stealer and make a slash at him.
All right, slash away.
Does a 15 hit?
15 does not, I'm afraid.
Well, hell.
You go to bring that sword down on top of this guy, thinking he's not paying attention. Right when you expect it to make contact with his body, it just slips right through. And much like when the javelins came towards him, the image shifts and the smoke kind of gets turbulent in the wake of your weapon. The attack does not land.
Well, Raging Waters is gonna get its 2 slam attacks now.
Okay.
Let's see, that is a 14 plus 7, 23. Or
That'll hit.
21. 21, I'm sorry, I can't math.
That will also hit.
So it's going to be, geez, crap damage. 7 bludgeoning damage.
7 bludgeoning.
And then the second attack is another natural 20. Or is that with my
Nice.
sword?
Wow.
No, I wanted that on my sword. I wanted to take its soul.
Turn into tickles, just ripping souls out of things.
42 points of bludgeoning damage.
42 points of bludgeoning damage. All right.
Wow.
This creature is not looking good. It's
Wow.
still standing, but it's wavering. It can no longer keep itself aloft in the air and has to land on the ground. It's breathing quite heavily.
Can I have my held action, by the way?
You can. You can also remind me what that held action was.
Murder.
Murder. Okay. Go for it. Yes, that's
Very-
right, because you were waiting until it was in range.
Glaring at it angrily, waiting for it to land or getting close by. So it is in melee range, I hope, at this point.
Yeah, it is on the ground face to face with you.
Glorious. Dirty 20. Oh, also, before I do any of that, before you even answer that question, there should be a hunter's mark on it.
There should be, but that should have been something you did on your turn because that's a bonus action,
Oh,
right?
right. No, that was my. I was just holding my action.
Yes. Holding action and delaying turn, 2 different things. Delaying turn moves you in the turn order. Holding an action uses
okay.
your reaction to trigger an action.
Okay. Then yes, just a dirty 20 to hit. Then we'll hunter's mark on my turn.
That will hit.
This one has not been hurt yet.
It has at this point.
Has. One of those. No, one of those. One of those. That is 14. Oh, that is absolute max damage. 12, 25.
25 points of murder damage. Okay. That is some hefty damage. All right. Was there anything else on your turn, Zara?
No, that was it for me.
No, that was it. Okay. Ixis.
Okay, so yeah, go take care of that guy. I will cast Toll the Dead again by taking my coin and flicking it so that it rings, and it just resonates and grows in strength against that guy.
Right.
Wisdom save,
Make
please.
that wisdom save. That is going to be a 10, which I'm pretty sure fails.
It does. 15 points of necrotic damage.
15 points of necrotic. All right.
And my tiny servant will use its 30 feet of movement to move there. And it will do a 15-foot cone so that this guy is just on the edge of it and not hitting Xerax.
Probably a good thing. I don't think Xerax would appreciate that.
And the breath weapon is cold, by the way.
Okay.
So he gets a dex save now.
Save is 15.
That just did not make it. So wow. 4, 5, 6. 15 points of cold.
Nice. 15 points of cold. Good damage against that guy this turn. All right. Anything else from your servant?
No, that's. Excuse me, sorry. That's all it can do.
Okay. Xena, this thing is in prime axing range.
Yes. So she's gonna move up next to it and do what she does best. Slashy, slashy.
It looks at you as you walk over to it, and it's sufficiently intimidated.
Good. Xena hesitates, not even a bit. 13. 21 to hit.
That will absolutely hit.
And she's just going to like just kind of blood rage going through her a little bit. She's just gonna look at it and just with her axe across its where it would have a neck, I guess, a dragony neck area of smoke. We'll see how much damage. Okay. That would be 14 points of slashing damage.
14 points of slashing damage. Okay, you swing your axe right through this thing's neck and see the two parts of its body separate as it lets out a surprised squeal. And then it bursts into a plume of smoke. It disappears as you have killed it.
Nice. She lets out that like hyena victory yip. And let's see, 5, 10, 15, I moved 20, 25, 30. And then, yeah, that's within range. I still have a couple of other regular javelins, so I'm gonna, with my second attack, throw one of my javelins at the remaining enemy.
Okay.
Okay, 13. 21 to hit.
That will hit.
6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of piercing damage.
8 points of piercing damage. Okay. Xerax, you and this creature are having like a snarling match against each other. And then suddenly this javelin comes flying in out from nowhere to your left and goes right through this thing, and it lets out a surprised yelp, not expecting this javelin, and has done a fair bit of damage to it.
And for those wondering, I did roll with disadvantage on that because it's just outside of the range.
Okay. And now it's your turn, Xerax. You are muted, though.
Now the hunter's mark goes up.
Yes.
Which will add one of those next. And I will take... you know what? I don't want this thing walking away on me, so I'm going to sidestep. Make sure it doesn't do that. 21 to hit.
Absolutely.
Do you want the hunter's mark separately?
No.
Maybe 6. I have not taken that feat yet, so 8, 9, 10, 19 damage.
19 damage. That is some hefty damage.
And a second swing. Better yet again, 25 to hit.
Definitely hits.
And that is going to be 8 11, 16, 21 damage.
21. Oof. Okay, much
Yep.
like that other one, your
Yes,
weapon
21.
strikes down on this thing, bites into its hide, lets out a surprised squeal as its body suddenly bursts in a plume of pitch black smoke. It, too, has been defeated, which marks the end of that combat.
And they poof, no remains, no nothing.
They poof, no remains.
Can I do an Arcana check to see why they poofed
Sure.
instead of just, blood and death?
Can I have anything planar related roll on that?
Yeah, you could give me either history or nature.
That was a 24 for my Arcana check.
24, okay.
22 on nature check.
Okay. Subira, with the Arcana check, you know that there are certain magical abilities that allow creatures to escape death, essentially, where upon being defeated, they will instead either fall into a state of stasis almost, or some creatures can disappear and have their bodies reappear at their chosen point of origin. There are some creatures that possess abilities that allow them to slink into shadow upon death. These abilities that these creatures had are draconic in origin, and a dragon or draconic creature with the magic that allows them to escape death would not be surprised in any way. You also know that such creatures can also sometimes be used as an avatar for a much more powerful creature. And when an avatar dies, its body just apparates, since it wasn't really real to begin with. So there are a few possibilities here, all of which could be plausible. And Xerax, with your planar nature check, you do recognize that these creatures, they could either be from this plane or the shadow plane, Shadowfell type place. You can't really make a determination which, just based on the combat. If there was a body to examine, you'd be better suited to. But otherwise, the way they acted, the abilities that they had, they weren't foreign to this plane.
Okay.
So, as the smoke and ash from these creatures settles and the quiet of the night atop this mountain once again overtakes the area, the rumbling far off in the distance continues, but is a fair distance away. You do have a moment of reprieve, should you wish to take it. Perhaps even a moment to sit down, have a meal, before whatever else is on its way over makes it.
Xena just shouts, "I require assistance!"
Why?
And she pouts and points down below the direction where her lightning javelin went. What is this thing anyway? It's not attacking, so I assume one of you did it.
It's a water elemental.
Can it go get my javelin?
Kind of like look over at the elemental and like back at Xena.
Well,
How far down is the javelin at this point in time?
Well, the cliff edge on that side of the mountain goes down several hundred feet. If you were to try to scale down the mountain yourself, it would probably take you about a day to get to the bottom. There is no real indication that anything stopped the javelin before it reached the bottom, as it is a sheer cliff on that side of the mountain. But you don't see any lights or anything down there, so it probably didn't land in a town or a camp or anything of the sort. So if you took the time to go down the mountain, you might be able to find it.
There's no chance of us recovering that right now.
Xena's ears go down. I'll wait then and recover it when this is over.
That's probably the best idea.
All right.
We need you up here just in case more things attack.
Yes, of course. All right. Thank you. She'll just kind of sadly waltz back over a little bit, taking more of a sentry position. Takes out some jerky, munches on it.
Subira actually approaches Reen.
Okay. As you approach her, give me an insight check.
Oh, that's a 10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
10. Okay. Approaching her, she looks winded, but you also know she has expended a fair bit of energy, not only in the ritual, but also healing people. Can't really tell much beyond that with that insight check.
Okay.
Are you still all right?
I am okay. We continue.
Are you familiar with this mountaintop?
No.
So you don't know if there's any dragons around?
No. But dragons seem to be everywhere.
Annoyingly
Though
so.
less white dragons lately. Odd.
We don't really get white dragons in the desert, so I didn't realize that they were scarce.
They weren't.
Interesting. Well, I was just curious since the creatures apparated. Could be because of maybe a dragon or another creature nearby, but there are other possibilities. I was just wondering.
Seemed kind of strange. We haven't fought very many dragons, but those ones were odd. But everything has been odd. Eyes are glowing. It's weird.
Yes, I'm thinking that my theory of them being avatars for another creature might be true, considering how perhaps their eyes are being viewed through another's and controlled. Just a theory, though.
It is a good theory. There is greater ley line going through this area. It tends to attract powerful creatures.
That's both fascinating and unsettling. We'll keep a lookout.
Okay. Do you need healing?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Does anybody else?
I just need a quick rest and I'll be fine.
Okay. Come
As
to
one
me
needs
if
help.
you need help.
Nah, save your strength.
Looking at her, I'm gonna go. Do you?
I am okay.
Hey, Isa, how you holding up in there?
I'm so bored.
Yeah, don't worry, you didn't miss much.
Feeling all the fun.
They ain't much. They were the lamest dragons ever. I don't even get a head to keep. Couldn't even get teeth or anything. They just poofed.
They also could have been from a different plane.
Whatever. Lame. So not glorious.
We could have put some dragon teeth in your hair with the feathers.
Right? Just nothing. Poof.
I'd be curious as to find out if their wings still produce the smoke afterwards.
Would you know what plane they would be coming from, Xerax?
You said plane of shadows?
Yes, there are. I mean, there are a couple different shadow-esque planes, so it really could be any of them. But if you were to guess, if they weren't native to the material plane, then they were likely from Shadowfell or the Shadow Realm or anything along those lines.
Possibly Shadowfell?
Hmm.
If I had to guess.
Oh, that would make sense for it disappearing, unless with the fire, it's them just turning into just a smoldering smoke pile, but shadow too. Many possibilities of where they're from.
Could be either.
Not
Do
liking the
you know
grass.
about Shadow Realms? Are you familiar with planar travel?
Reasonably.
Do you know why it's broken?
Why, what's broken?
I used to travel through Shadow Realm to get places quickly. I can make doorways, but not lately. They don't open.
How strange.
Could be something powerful blocking the way.
Perhaps these ley lines you spoke of?
No, no, they were working together nicely in previous years. But lately, Shadow Realm specifically seems closed.
Maybe something broke the connection between our two planes?
Perhaps what's controlling these creatures, maybe?
That's a problem.
It is.
Xena yawns.
Nerds. Nerds and their nerd talk.
Boring.
Nerd talk.
Stuck in this damn circle listening to them. Just
The
kidding.
elemental is around for an hour, right?
I believe so, yeah. An hour as long. Yeah, because I don't think those stones require concentration.
Nope.
So, yep.
It's a one-use Pokeball.
Yep. Xena's gonna poke at it a little bit.
Xena, please do not annoy the elemental.
I
So
was half
weird.
expecting you to like do the dog thing where you just go up to it and go.
Please
I mean, I
don't
wouldn't put
drink
past
the
it.
elemental.
Don't drink the elemental.
She would
She
totally try
drink-
that.
As soon as you said dog, I thought of a fire, like a fire hydrant type situation.
Oh, that too.
She'll sniff it. Start sticking her tongue out.
It's just water pressure. You just feel like pain on your tongues. Ah!
Doesn't taste good. Stop. Nope.
Tastes like pain.
That's what fresh water tastes like.
So, who was, I believe it was Xerax and Zara were listening to the noises earlier in the day.
Mhm.
Yes.
Could you both give me survival checks?
Uncomfortably, yes.
Jesus. 12.
16.
12 and 16. Okay. Zara, you are slightly distracted by the sloshing water sounds of the elemental that is staying very close to your side. So it's difficult to listen in and focus in on these vibrations coming from the forest. Xerax, you're finding it a little more difficult as well. Perhaps now because it's nighttime, you can no longer rely on your eyes to assist you, as well as just your ears and the feeling of the shaking in the glow. But if you were to estimate, you would say you probably have between 3 and 4 hours before the significant rumbling of whatever is coming your way actually reaches you.
We have Lord. You said the number and it just skipped right off my mind.
3 to 4 hours.
3 to 4 hours. So if you need rest, now is a great time to take it.
Recover some hit points. I'm gonna do that.
Maybe possibly eat
Ooh,
before trouble shows up.
I only need to do one.
What time is it roughly? Give or take?
Currently, it is about 10 p.m.
So we're not quite halfway through the ritual, or are we just about at the halfway mark?
You are approaching the halfway mark.
I have one more rage left.
I used 4 hit die to recover health.
Okay.
Oh hell, I should probably do that too.
You know what? I'm going to burn one and go from there.
Yeah.
I burned one and I rolled a 12 on a d12, so I'm back to full.
Nice.
I
Yeet.
love when that happens.
It's so beautiful. You just look at that number and you're just like, ah. I wish it was on damage, but it's still nice.
You know what? I'm happy with that. That gave me 10 back because I'm good.
One more rage.
Since I can't use a hit die, I will activate second wind though to take some healing.
I almost went back to
Okay.
max. That's not bad. I just did 1 hit die.
Max. That's max. So that's 16 points, which is more than enough to drop me all the way up.
Xena,
As you guys,
cook something. Do we have a fire?
well, you do have a fire pit down there on the map. It is marked. You can build a fire easy enough. There is plenty of wood to be collected. It would not be of any real issue.
Did we hunt earlier?
You did go hunting. That's when you encountered those salamander-looking
right.
lizard things.
Okay.
We also
And
got
you
that big
also-
old elk.
Yeah, you killed a giant elk and a giant boar, which are
Oh,
still
yeah, yeah.
right there.
All right. Xena's gonna do some cooking now
Okay.
with some of the new herbs that she's found around the campsite.
All right. Well, since you are cooking with found ingredients, go ahead and give me that cooking-based performance roll.
18.
18. That's a pretty good roll, I'd say.
It is.
So
+4 for
roll
performance.
Roll me a straight d20.
This one's been really good to me today. 16.
16. Okay. And roll me a d4.
1.
1. Okay. Ooh, this is good for you spellcasters in the group. I assume everyone is eating.
Sharp.
Is anyone bringing any? Oh, never mind. You can't eat anyway, Isa.
Definitely eating.
Yeah.
That wasn't a dig. I just genuinely forgot and remembered as I was saying it.
Aww.
So, as you guys eat this glorious meal, as you have come to expect from Xena's cooking, it is amazing. And these are ingredients that you've never tasted before, so it is just an explosion of flavor as you are filling yourselves with this fresh meat, these fresh herbs. And spellcasters in the group, you can restore, after finishing this meal, a cumulative total of 3 levels worth of spell slots.
Ho ho ho.
So it could be 3 level 1s or a level 2 and a level
yes.
1, whatever combination you wish, as long as it adds up to 3.
What can I
Warlock's
say?
going,
Life.
why?
You're welcome.
Warlock's like, but can I have additional?
Yeah, I was like, Warlock over here is like, I already got them back. But can I have another?
Well, Yixis will be happy about that, and Zara, I think.
Yes.
I'm happy with this.
Oh, and Zarek's good.
Pretty much everything except Xena and Iza.
Yep.
Benefit.
That's fine. I am perfectly. Xena's fine. She's just lamenting her lightning javelin right now, but she made some really good in the style of like pho is like what you were eating is like this really good.
Go for some of that right about now.
Yeah.
Something about this
Okay,
show always
so-
makes me hungry.
We always end up talking about like really, really
Food.
good food at some
Yeah.
point in the show.
It's the
Um,
thing. Well, she's got a lot of things, but it's one of her things.
Remind me, who is it that has the sending stone in their possession? The
No.
one that's paired with the other one that was given away?
Yeah, it was a Zara.
That would be Zara.
Zara? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm the communication center.
So as you are finishing up your meal, Zara, you hear a familiar voice in your mind as you receive a message through the stone. And the voice calls out to you. Good evening, my friend. It is Paladin Borov. Hope you're doing well. It's been some time since we met. I do want to apologize for my companions and their... And it cuts off.
Of
There's a
course,
word
he,
limit,
of course,
isn't there?
he doesn't know the word limit to sending. We
It
are,
probably went on for an extra like 10 minutes
yeah,
for
he's
all
pro-
you know.
It's like
Oh,
by
yeah.
by the time like Zara begins to respond, he's probably still talking. Pretty much, Zara's like, had better days in mountains now. Magic ritual summoning weird creatures. Much battle.
Okay, your response is received. Somewhere out in the world, he tries to respond to that, but obviously it doesn't go through. You can only use it once. He doesn't understand that. He's dumb.
So I wouldn't send
So
him
he's
the
just-
owner's manual.
Out in the desert, yelling a response that's never going to go through.
Oh my god.
And then
Tell the
wondering why he
paladin we're
doesn't get an
summoning
answer.
something.
And then it's like like tomorrow, once it refreshes, he's gonna like contact her in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah.
I love it. This was worth it.
It would be worse if it just backlogged it and sent like a message every day continuing.
Oh
It's
gosh.
just a chat log on
That would be
delay.
amazing.
Zara would be like, please make it stop.
Just throws the sending stone down a pit.
Next enemy that upsets you, it's just like, here, this is yours now. Bye.
This is a present. Talking stone.
Outside of that event, there is nothing really noteworthy that happens in this brief break that you have. You do have about 3 hours after you finish your meal to do whatever you please, prepare yourselves, whatever it is that you want to do. You could always just leave if you wanted to as well. That's always an option. But if there's anything specific, let me know. Otherwise, we will fast forward a little bit here.
am reading my book. My
Okay.
special
What do you know?
book.
Zara's just waiting.
Okay.
I'm gonna collect some more herbs because that was a really good dinner and I want more. So I'm just gonna stay close by, but like go around and collect things in the nearby vicinity, foraging.
Okay. Give me a survival or a nature.
I think my survival, both of them are not great, but survival is slightly not as bad. See, oh, that was pretty good. 16. This dice is on fire.
16. Okay. And I got a very high roll on my number of herbs die.
Sweet.
You managed to collect over the course of about an hour 18 what you believe to be edible herbs. That should improve your cooking quite a bit. I will make a note of that. So anytime you mention you are using them, that will
Okay.
impact the potential results for the DC.
I'll call them mountain herbs.
Okay, and
Okay. And
going to
Sabira,
I'm
you
sorry.
get about 3 hours of reading. And go ahead, Yixis.
I'm going to ritualistically cast Tiny Hut,
Okay.
and it's going to be centered right. Let's see here. It's a 20-foot diameter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be somewhere like there, but not so that it touches the ritual circle.
Okay.
Everybody here is allowed in, except for the elemental and the
Basil.
undead guy.
Casper?
He probably poofed at this point because it only lasts an hour.
Yeah, same with the
Yep.
elemental. Like after hour 1, he's gone.
Oh, okay. And then I'm also gonna recast ritualistically Shaman's armor on myself.
Okay.
Re-up that. And I'm gonna leave Tiny Hut there until I either have to leave or, well, that's the only thing that makes it poof, right? Is if I leave.
Yep. The only thing that will affect it is, like you said, if you leave, it will poof. And if something is smart enough to realize that it is magical and attempts to dispel it and is successful in that attempt.
So for the time being, there's shelter for those who want it. And I will try to continue scribing spells in my book.
Okay. So you can get probably about 2.5 hours of spell scribing in after you've done your rituals and everything.
Yeah, and I would have started after eating anyway, so that would have taken up time. And okay, so
At some point, I would have probably gotten someone to bring me at least my daggers and my armor so I could put that on, have those on me. I'm bored at this point.
So
Need something to
when
do.
when you call out for someone to bring you your equipment,
I would have moved to the edge
Reen-
of the circle.
Reen
someone meet me
interrupts
there.
and she's like, no equipment.
I'm so bored.
It interferes. Will make this more difficult.
Just put down.
I'm sorry.
Can I have a stick?
Stick is probably okay.
Someone bring me a stick.
I wouldn't be able to scribe down spells that are higher than the levels I can currently cast, right? Even for future use.
Nope, you can do it. You can scribe any level spell in your book. You just can't use them until you have that spell slot available.
Nice.
I do
Diesel shot, thank you for that raid.
Being able to deal with the problem, would like to take one of my hand axes. I assume the hand axes have sort of like a bit of a hook to them.
That's how I always picture a hand axe. It can really be any design you want it to be.
Especially
So if you
since
want
they're
them to be
throwing,
hooked,
they I
yes.
would assume they sort of had a curved hooked blade. I'm going to take one of my sections of rope and actually secure it to the handle.
Okay.
A la makeshift grappling hook.
Probably a good call.
In case something else decides it wants to fly and I object to it.
Yeah, and you don't have to roll for the strength of that knot. I mean, you have several hours to make sure it's nice and sturdy. So
Tie it once, toss it, no, it falls off.
just don't toss it over the cliff.
That's a Xena thing. We'll have to get that later.
So, is Zara doing anything? It looks like Xena's just over there standing guard for the time being.
Zara's just sitting on a rock waiting.
All right.
I would probably ask Breen if it's okay if I could have someone bring me the vials of poison out of my bag.
Is it magical?
No, it's just poison. Animal
It
poison.
should be fine.
So if someone could bring me that and a sturdy enough stick, she'd probably spend the time trying to use her claws to sharpen the stick to a point.
And you'd be able to do that between your claws and the stone on the ground. You can grind the point of that stick to a sharpened point.
Okay.
Real quick, how much time would it cost me to do a level 3? How much time and ink, considering both would be cut in half from the normal, for a level 3 and then again for a level 5?
Level 3 and then level 5. So for a level 3, that would normally be 6 hours and 150 gold worth of ink. So that cut in half. And then for
I've
a
got
level
2 and a
5.
half. I've got 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for a level 5, it would be 10 hours. And I can count. No, I can't.
That's okay. I don't have time.
250 gold worth of ink cut in half.
Unfortunately, I don't have enough time for that. So I'll have to save those for later if everything turns out okay.
Okay, so as the rumbling gets closer and closer, and you all prepare yourselves for what is to come, you're looking around, most of you focused on the tree line nearby, and you see, much like you did earlier in the day, well, I guess technically much like you didn't until it hit you, a very, very large boulder flying through the air in your general direction. It's a damn good thing that you put that tiny hut up, Yixis. It is a damn good thing you put that hut up, because this would have hurt real bad. This boulder is about 15 by 15 feet. And it impacts the side of the tiny hut and just bursts into debris of rocks and pebbles and still quite large pieces of boulder. Dust goes flying about everywhere. And you know that the next creatures are upon you. But we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the evening before we get into that battle. So
That's rude.
get up, stretch your legs, get a drink, do whatever you need to do. We will be right back in just a couple of minutes.
I have a single action thing I want to do.
All right, we are back.
Because it's literally ding and then they run.
That is the best.
Welcome back.
Yep.
And they run.
Well, damn it! I hate DMCA.
So, a large boulder has impacted the side of your tiny hut, thankfully doing no damage to anyone. But, Gixis, you had something you wanted to do immediately after that happened?
Yeah, Yuxis will turn to Xena and give me your axe real quick.
Okay. So this is before the boulder hits?
No,
This is
like
right after the
the
boulder
boulder.
hits.
Right
it.
after? Okay, I guess there's no initiative yet? Do I have time to rush over?
No initiative yet. You saw that this boulder came from well within the tree line. So the creature that threw it is on its way to you, but not visible yet.
Okay, I run over, I hold out my axe, not even questioning it.
And with my claw, I scratch a little rune in the side of it. And it starts to glow with a bright light in 10-foot radius and dim light for another 10 feet. And now it does 1d4 cold damage.
Oh, yes. So
Nice.
I'm picturing it's kind of like sparkling with like blue cold energy or something. Kind of extra sparkly. You can confirm or deny that. It's your magic. I'm just like
He's
the idea.
slowly dying, so that's why.
Oh, he's dying horribly.
he's
Oh,
dying.
No, Shadow, why?
Hey, it's your axe, so it can be whatever you want it to be.
Okay, then it's sparkly ice energy. It looks like diamonds.
These are sparkly,
Yeah.
glowy.
And she
Frost
grins.
kind of flowing off of it.
Yes. Big grin on her face. Thanks. And she'll rush back towards the tree line, waiting for whatever is about to come. What direction specifically did it come from? Because I want to put her as close as possible to that.
It came right from the direction you were headed in. The tree line on the right side of the map came from within there. And as you come running out of the tiny hut towards that area, something comes running out to greet you.
Sweet. Tell me if I need to back up, if it would have run out sooner.
Yes.
Okay.
Back up to, I have too many tabs open. To about here, you probably would have made it.
Okay. That's fair.
There's
However
this
far she can
creature.
get.
This is barging out. And what you see in front of you is a very, very large and kind of lanky looking giant that has well, for lack of better description, it's a tree slung over his shoulder that he's using as a great club. And you see that same familiar green glow in his eyes, and he comes screaming, charging straight for you. And your attention is taken away for a brief moment as you happen to see further to the south of the tree line another one come charging out. And I'm going to need everyone to roll initiative.
Xena gets even happier.
Now that I know, because I was dumb and I've been like holding on to that gilded skull forever, for some reason in my head I thought it consumed the skull, and it didn't. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna use this like candy now. I was like, what the hell? Oh no! Thank God this was on initiative.
You're going to
I got a
use
low
it
roll too.
sometime next year, though.
Got a 1.
Ooh. I got a 9.
I'm going last.
I feel that pain. I've been there.
I keep rolling decent initiatives, but I'm stuck inside a circle.
Oh, what did you do for 2 sessions, Isa? Oh, I just sat there while everyone was having fun. While people are trying to cure me.
Okay. I I now have
I do feel
sharp stick and some poison.
I do feel a little bit bad about having you just sit there doing nothing, but
Okay.
also consequences of messing with demon lords.
Yep.
Nah, she doesn't see it that way.
Question.
Yes.
The resistance spell that was cast on Xena before, did that have a time limit?
1
or
hour.
does she still have that?
It's 1 hour.
Okay, so it's gone. Okay. So she didn't use it.
So, speaking of sitting there doing nothing, Iza, you are at the top of the order. You do know you can leave the circle. It just hurts to do so.
No.
And it hurts to burn.
You're gonna leave the circle and it's gonna one-shot you, and it's like, oh shit.
I'm going to take that stick I've been sharpening, which, I would have requested a decent sized stick so I can get a good grip on it.
Yeah, I imagined like walking stick sized stick.
Not quite that long, more like a steak sized stick.
Okay.
I'm going to coat it with I have 1.5 vials of scorpion poison, that we got forever ago, and I'm gonna coat that stick in poison, which I'm assuming takes my action, if I remember
It
correctly.
does, yep.
Yep. And then I'm gonna wait. I now got poison stick.
Did I tell you what that poison did?
Nope.
Okay.
This seems safe.
And we're moving on.
Yeah. All right.
Skip right
Move
over
on
that
from that.
point.
Yixis, you are safe inside of the dome. Xena is not currently in the dome. Neither is Iza or Reen, but you and the rest of your group are safe in there.
You're muted. You're muted. The benefits of being down the hall.
You're like, wait, I hear him trying to talk.
Sorry, it was muted on my mic, not in Zoom. Anyways, so I have placed the dome like there-ish, right?
Yes. I can actually mark it on the map if you intend on keeping it up.
For the time being, it's a 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius.
So
okay.
actually, you know what? I wanted it closer to the circle, but not touching it. So I think centered there would be good.
Okay, 10-foot radius. I believe that is centered on. Oh, I put that on the GM layer. That's useful.
Maybe like on this corner, if it's centered on a spot instead of a.
Yeah. So like.
That works. Yeah, that circle. Yeah, that's good.
And then you would have been
Right
in the
there.
circle, right? So because
Yes.
you have to be.
Yes,
So
yes.
move your guy in there.
I imagine, unless you guys didn't want to be, everyone except Xena was within it as well.
That sort of would have been the plan, yes.
So
Xena's like, nah, I'm good out here.
I'm going to walk to the edge of the circle. I think I can poke my head and hands out, right?
I believe so. I've seen it done before, so I'm going to say yes for now.
Sorry, I'm trying to be tricksy spellcaster. I'm going to poke my head and hands out, and I'm going to take out the gem with the tear in it, and I'm going to swirl my hands around it as it starts to float, and shadows start to pour out of it again, and a shadow spawn appears. Where are you going? Oh yeah, can totally make it. Actually, can I be super smart about this? That'd be great.
The
Oh yeah,
music
that's the
freeze.
spot.
Did it? It's still playing on my end, but I can restart it.
I was like, I don't know if if it froze up on mine.
It did for me too. I just didn't notice until he said something.
Okay, I just restarted it.
I can hear it now.
Okay, yeah. So basically there.
Okay.
It should be 30 feet from I thought I had a spot where it was 30 feet from both. Ah, screw it. He's gonna be right there. Or there.
Okay.
Um,
And what does this look like when this thing apparates?
So it's the Fury one, so it looks like like a tornado of a bunch of pitch black needles and shattered glass. Just swirling around to make the shape of this large muscular gnoll kind of form. And he acts right away, I think. He's going to do the...
Yes, I believe he can act on the same turn that he is summoned.
He's going to do the dreadful scream, which is only going to affect the giant right in front of him. And need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom save. Let's see.
And basically, this sounds like a bunch of glass and stone scraping against metal.
That is a 14 on the wisdom save.
That does not save. It is afraid of it. It is frightened of the shadow spawn.
Mark him. He is scared. Anything else from you or your spawn?
That takes an action, right?
Yes.
Yes, it's a full action to do so, so it does not get to attack otherwise right now. So that's it for that, and my tiny servant will start making its way towards it as well. It will get out there. And I will step back towards the center of the circle.
That will bring us to the scared giant's turn. And he cannot move closer to his source of fear, which is a problem.
You can attack, just at disadvantage.
Does he want to attack or does he want to throw stuff? Let's find out. He's not very smart, so the dice will decide. Okay, he's going to attack. He's going to attack the source of his fear at disadvantage. So he's going to hoist up that large broken tree that he's using as a great club and try to bring it down right on top of your shadow creature. Does a 16 hit it?
Yes, it does. I'm trying to figure out the HP of it, though, because it's like 35 either times or plus something to do with the level of the spell.
Yeah. It is, thought I had that written in there, but apparently I don't.
Yeah, it's got a parenthesis right next to it.
That's useful. I do have Tasha's open, so give me 1 second. I will look up those details for you.
My most favorite book that ever came out. I love so many spells from that book.
Oh, I am loving the class I took out of that book for Tuesday.
Yeah, Tasha's is pretty fun.
Okay, so its HP is 35 plus an additional 15 for each spell level above 3rd.
Oh, so it's a flat 35 right now. Okay.
Okay, so this thing hit with its attack, and it's going to do some damage. That's the wrong character sheet. Terrible rolls so far. It is going to do 18 bludgeoning damage. And it is going to go in for a second swing. That is a 16 to hit.
You're rolling at disadvantage.
I am rolling at disadvantage.
Yes, that hits.
Those rolls are more like it. That is going to be 24 bludgeoning damage.
Ooh.
It goes the way of my familiar.
But that is all that guy can do. Although, actually, no, I guess not. He's not scared anymore. The source of fear is gone, so he can use his movement. He is going to indeed use that movement to go right up to here. But that's all he's going to do. Xerax, your turn.
All right. Well. Gonna move to there. And actually, no. Let's backtrack here. Smart. Ew, that's an action. That's not helpful. Never mind. Okay. So we're gonna move to there. We're going to Hunter's Mark the giant.
Okay.
And using 2 of my non-roped hand axes. We're gonna throw a pair of them at Big and Ugly.
Throw away.
It's gonna be one of those. Now, is he taking damage?
He has not.
Okay. Not great. Not great. That is a 10 to hit on the first one.
Ooh, a 10 will not. They're a pretty big target, but somehow apparently dexterous enough to dodge a hand axe.
Okay, that's a bit better. That's a 17 to hit.
17 is the number you need in order to hit.
Okay. And you said he had been damaged?
Had not.
Not. Okay. So one of those. Plus a Hunter's Mark. Do you want the Hunter's Mark split out at all?
I do not.
Okay. 7, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage.
12 damage. All right. pretty good damage for a thrown axe.
I mean, helps when you start adding modifiers to it.
Yes, yes, it does.
And that is going to be it for this turn. Yes.
All right. That will bring us to that specific giant. He's going to stomp right up to the two of you there, facing him down. And let's roll to see which one of you he's going to target. Zerax, I need you to make a athletics or acrobatics roll versus his athletics as he goes to grapple you.
I'm going to go with athletics. And I'm not going to roll a d6. I'm actually going to roll a real dice. That is a 17.
17, the number to beat was 20.
Ooh.
So he reaches down, wraps his giant hand around your waist, and hoists you up into the air. Seems to be preparing to do something, but
I
that
like
is
it.
all he can do on this turn.
Is the meme gonna continue?
I don't like
The
it.
dice say it is. And that will bring us to Reen, and she, seeing two very large figures now accosting her new friends, she is going to reach for a necklace that is around her neck. She's going to yank it off so the chain breaks, with a little pendant in the shape of a feather on it. She's going to call out to anyone in the group that is listening. She's going to say, use this if they get too close. Reactionary magic. And then she's going to throw the pendant necklace towards the group who is inside of a dome, and the necklace just hits the side of the dome and falls to the ground. But it is right here for anyone that is willing or able to pick it up. Zara, your turn.
I think Zara's gonna go pick up the necklace.
Okay, you have in your possession a feather-shaped pendant necklace. She has said that it is reactionary magic if they get too close, so this can be triggered if they get within 10 feet of you.
Okay. And he's gonna stay right there and then drop a moonbeam on this gentleman. Actually, no, he's gonna drop a moonbeam on this one because there are two people already on that one. So this gentleman right here is gonna have a moonbeam dropped on him.
Somewhere. Tell me no results found. Liar. There's the moonbeam. Dropping on this guy here.
Yeah.
Alright. Is moonbeamed. He needs to make a what? Con save?
Con save.
Constitution saving through. Oh, oof. Do not drop stone dice on a glass top table. That is not a good thing to do.
Mm-mm.
But he's going to roll a 24.
Okay, so he'll take half. So that is a total of 17 radiant, so half of that.
Radiant, okay. Right. Anything else from you, Zara?
That is it.
All right, Xena, you're up.
She's just gonna grin and look up at him and just shout at the top of her lungs, "Glorious!" and take a swing. She's very excited at this seemingly worthy opponent, finally.
This poor giant's about to get an axe into the shin.
And I'm gonna, I would like to rage first.
Okay, good call.
And it's a 6 again. I want something cooler, but this is good too. So
Yeah,
it's the
I mean,
AC boost one.
against these guys, that is good.
It's probably a good thing, yeah. So that 10 feet around me as well.
Or help for Xerix too.
Yeah, Xerix will get
Yeah.
in +1 to his AC as well.
Xerix, who's about there. He is still well within it. He's also grappled.
And then I'm gonna attack Reckless.
Okay.
And that would be low, but 17.
17's the number you need.
Okay. Oh, it's good. Oh wow. Okay, I'm not. It's a 12, but I'm not gonna count it because it fell out of my tray, and I don't count dice that fall out of my tray.
I'm the same way.
So, damn. But so it'll be 8 points slashing damage plus 2 points frost damage.
And total.
And then I would like to slash again.
Okay.
With my second attack there.
I'm sorry, did you remember the cold?
Yep.
She did.
2 points cold is what came out. Okay, so that would be 22 to hit.
Definitely hits.
All right. Let's see which D. You've been good. Do that again. That's fine. 7, 8, 11 points slashing plus. Is it for each hit, right? The D4?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, 4 points cold.
Nice. 15 total. Good hit.
And that's it for her.
Decent amount of damage on this guy already. Subira, you're up.
Okay. Well, I don't think I can cast spells while I'm in here.
You saw
Technically,
it.
you
Sorry.
yeah, technically you can't. Yixis reached his hands out of the dome in order to cast a spell, and quick retcon will say that Zara had to reach her hand singular, out of the dome in order to cast Moonbeam as well.
Okay.
But you can stay within it once a spell has been cast. If it's like concentration or something, you can be in the dome and continue to concentrate.
Okay. Actually, she's gonna go out this way, so she's just gonna step out for a moment. Summon Giorgio with her with the skull. So the putrid undead will come out, and she'll kind of pat him on the head and go help, but try to mind your surroundings so you don't hurt our companions. And then step back in.
Makes gross gargling noises at you in affirmation. And where is it being summoned? Like, are you summoning it next to one of the creatures?
Wherever
next
I
to
place
you?
the skull is where he's summoned. So,
Gotcha.
So yeah, pretty much just like right outside. But it's his turn now, so he can easily walk over. There's plenty. Actually, I'm gonna flip a coin to see if he is aware of his surroundings. No, he's not.
That tracks. He's undead.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Xerax will be in that. Sorry, buddy.
Now,
They're not intelligent.
Fortunately, Xerax is being held in this giant's hand up out of range of that.
Okay, cool. So that works out. That's good. So I need this giant. He probably will do it. Needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Let me see if I can not throw my dice on my desk this time. Ooh, he has a very, very high con save, but he's only going to roll an 11.
Oh, okay. So he fails. So he is poisoned. until the end of his next, or the end of my turn. Or start of my turn, sorry.
Not immune to that poison either, so.
Oot, oot.
Does he take any damage from that, or just the?
No, that's
poison
just
effect?
as soon as they're in the aura.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. So let's see. So now he gets to, because I have to remember multi-attack. So he's gonna go ahead and with his disgusting claws, just go ahead and start raking into his ankle, shin, or whatever the height is on this guy.
Probably about his knee.
Just... Oh, is that a 1? That's a 7, thank God. Okay, well, that still probably won't hit. 11.
That will not hit.
The other one's a natural 19, so that is a 22.
That will hit.
Sweet. Needs to make another con saving throw.
Okay, see if he can do better on this one. And he can. That is going to be a 21.
Oh, that's the one I really wanted him to fail, but that's okay. So he doesn't get the effect, but he still gets all the damage and all that good stuff. 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Slashing damage.
Slashing damage, okay. Alright.
Okay.
Anything else from the gross undead?
That was both of his attacks. That was his movement. He's not intelligent enough to see if he needs to sidestep, so yeah, no, he's good. He's just gonna
Alright.
being
Back
gross.
up at the top of the order with Iza.
You know how everyone's attacking the one up here? I will step out of the circle to move here. Just 25 feet of movement.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
That would be a 17.
17. Okay, you're going to take 3 lightning damage.
Fine. I am going to take my now poison-coated piece of wood, stake, and I'm going to huck it at this guy.
Okay.
As hard as I can.
Go ahead and make a ranged attack for me.
Ooh. The 19 on the die, so 28. Range is
That will certainly
strength,
hit.
right? Oh no, that's with Dex.
Ranged
Dex.
is Dex, yeah.
Dex. Oh.
But even just what it said on the die, even just a 19, that would still
okay.
hit.
I don't know what it does. I don't.
For the stick damage, you can roll a d4.
That makes sense to me. That's a 3. 3 probably
3,
piercing.
okay,
See how I sharpened it?
It will be 3 piercing damage. And where did I put that? Where's this stuff?
Would it not potentially receive her strength and or dex modifier to damage as well?
I would receive the dex mod, yeah. That's a good
Well,
point.
that's another 3, so a total of 6.
Okay. Just head this up. Where did it go? Do you remember what type of scorpion that was that you got that from?
I feel like it was a giant scorpion. I feel like it was fairly large, but I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I just have it says scorpion poison.
Oh, I think this might be it right here. Yes, so he needs to make a Constitution save. No, that is a very high roll. What happens if he saves? So he's not going to... Oof. Yeah, good thing he saved. He's going to take a little bit of damage here, though. Roll 3d6 for me.
4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Okay, so he's going to take half of that. He will take 5 poison damage from that. All right. Anything else you want to do, Isa?
I'll take a 5-foot step inside the dome here.
Okay.
And just so I can know to take it off my inventory, how much poison, how much poison will I've had to put on that stick?
Did I give you a number of applications for
No.
the poison that you harvested? Okay.
Told me I had 1.5 vials.
1.5 vials. Each vial would have 3 applications in it. Because that was fresh wood, very absorbent. You would have used 2 applications in order to coat that stick.
Okay, so I have 1 application left.
Yep.
Or is that 3 applications per vial?
Per vial.
Okay, so I would have had 1.5. I'll figure it out. Thank you.
Okay. And you use the rest of your movement to move into the dome. Okay, so roll a d20 for me, if you would.
15?
15? Okay, as soon as you step into that dome, there is a very bright flash and very, very audible crack, almost like thunder, as the connection between you and Breen for a brief moment is severed.
Oh, shit.
And you see a ripple, a bright pulse kind of rebound through that magic that was tethering the two of you. And as it strikes her, she screams out in a significant amount of pain as she takes 15 lightning damage.
Well, I can't do anything about it now. I'm stuck here. That was all my movement.
Right. Yixis, you're up.
Are you muted?
Free action. Really quickly look over at Isa. You really should just stay in the circle. I know you want to help, but just stay. And then let's see here. I am gonna, I guess, just do Toll the Dead. So move to the edge of the circle real quick and do Toll the Dead on the guy to the south. And end up moving back towards the center after that.
We'll make that wisdom saving throw. He rolls. Oh, my giants are not rolling well. That is an 11 from him.
That does not save. That's going to be 20 points of necrotic.
20 points of necrotic. Damn. That is a hefty Toll the Dead.
And then Tiny Servant is going to try to be super badass and hit him with a slam attack.
Okay.
I love that it's called a slam attack from a Tiny Servant.
Right.
It should be called Scratch.
Or poke.
Yeah, really.
Greater boop.
Okay. Ooh, +5. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, that can hit.
Go D4, go.
Tiny servant doing a slam attack on a huge giant.
It's gonna be 5 points of bludgeoning.
5 points of bludgeoning. All right, he's gonna take that 5 points. He has no resistance to it.
Little tiny servant
really
taking its front little mandibles, kind of like a put 'em up.
You'd think stone giants would at least have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, but they don't. All right. Anything else from you, Yixis?
Yes. Did
What are
you
you
not
gonna
hear
do?
me? Oh,
you said
no.
you said yes, but it was like, what are you gonna
Oh,
do?
I thought he said, was that it for Yixis?
Oh.
Yeah.
Anything else
That's
from
it.
you?
No, that's it.
Like, we're
Uh,
waiting.
So, Stone Giant, top of his turn, needs to save against that Moonbeam, I believe.
Yep.
So that's going to, that is going to be a nat 20 for 28.
Well, he'll take half. So he'll take 5 damage.
Radiant damage to that guy. And he is going to, well, that tiny servant did an alarming amount of damage to him, so he's going to tee up with his great club and try to gulf swing that tiny servant out of the way. Does a nope. That's a nat 1. Okay.
Best
These giants
tiny
were
servant
supposed
ever.
to be like the big boys of these waves, but they're rolling like poop. Okay, nat 1.
They've still significantly scared us, so with the rock.
Okay.
We're all hiding
So
in domes and stuff.
he goes to golf swing against this tiny servant, but he's not used to fighting things that are so small, so he misjudges a little bit, and as he swings his great club through the air, it slips out of his grip and goes.
Gotta love Nat 1 moments.
Oh, come on. It slips out of his grip and goes 12 squares to the left of the map, which is enough for it to go tumbling over the edge of the cliff. And he is effectively disarmed from that as far as the great club goes. So he roars quite loudly at his own incompetence and looks around for something else to use as a weapon, but that will be the end of his turn.
I
Xerax,
just
you're up.
imagine the tiny servant is just shadow boxing right now at his feet.
Am I
right.
considered?
You are grappled. You are not restrained.
Okay.
You are currently being held up in the air about 7 feet off the ground. You
Okay.
can make a strength contest versus him if you want to try and free yourself from the grapple. But otherwise, you can try and hit him while still being grappled.
I was just going to grab the 2 scimitars and jam them into his wrist.
All right. You can absolutely do that. I'll set an amount of damage here, and if you exceed it, he will let go of you.
I mean, he's conveniently already holding me. So, now am I at disadvantage on these?
Nope, you are
Okay.
not.
So that will be a... I can math. 14.
14 will not penetrate his thick skin, I'm afraid.
Okay. And neither will a 10.
It will not. You're a little unfamiliar with being grappled and kind of thrown around like a toy. So perhaps
That's-
it's throwing you off a little bit.
Very fair. I have a plan next turn.
Okay. Well, it is his turn, unless there's something else that you wanted to do.
Nope. That's all I can do for now, sadly.
All right. So he is going to try to be rid of the creature that is attempting to cut his hand off. So he is going to throw you, much in the same way he was throwing that boulder earlier.
I
But
don't like it.
he's poisoned, so his throw attack will be at disadvantage, and he is attempting to throw you at that magical dome that he has seen you guys exiting and entering.
Bug on a windshield incoming.
Yeah, let's see. That is going to be a 9 plus... Oh yeah, that's an 18. Okay, so he will not mess that throw up too badly. But he doesn't have a specific target because he can't see into the dome. So... Xerix, roll a d4 for me.
1.
1. Okay, that is the best of the 4 options. So he throws you, and you go sailing along this path, and he throws you about 50 feet. So you're going to skid to a halt right about there. You go in the dome, go zooming right past Zara, go out of the dome, and then find yourself landing right in the middle of that circle. He is a very large creature, so there is no dex save to try and land on your feet. You are prone. You are going to take some damage from this. But not very much damage because I rolled minimum. We're going to take 4 bludgeoning damage. And I would like to request some new monsters.
Aren't these your choices?
Not anymore. Green. Isa, if you could roll another d20 for me.
God damn it. Of course, I picked up the 1. That's hard for me to read. That's an 8.
An 8? Okay. All of you just continue to hear Reen scream out in pain as this magic continues to rebound against her, dealing significant amounts of lightning damage. She is not in good shape. Zara, it is your turn.
I think she's gonna look over at Isa and just growl at her. Get back in the circle and stay there. You are not helping. And she's gonna exit the circle and go over to Reen and dump a second level cure wounds on her.
Okay.
That is going to be 11 HP.
11 HP. Will certainly keep her on her feet, at least for a few more rounds. Anything else from you, Zara? Reen does give you an unappreciative look.
Nope, she's gonna stay right there.
All right. Xena, you're up.
You know what Xena wants to do.
I do.
She gonna go slash at his ankles some more. Wrong dice. There we go. 16? Probably not.
16 is 1 shy, I'm afraid.
Alright. I should have just done this reckless. That was stupid. Second swing is dirty 20. So I know that
20
hits.
will do it.
Okay. Come on, damage. Alright. So that's 8 points slashing plus
Okay.
1 point of cold.
9 points total. Every little bit helps.
And bonus
Looking at this
action.
guy- Oh,
Sorry.
right, your bonus action.
Bonus action, storm aura.
Okay. That'll
And
be an extra 3 damage to him.
3 points damage.
He's he's still keeping his posture quite well, but you have opened up a lot of wounds in this guy and he's bleeding quite a bit.
Good. I'm just basking in it. Yeah. Shower. Blood shower.
All right.
That's it for her. She's gonna stay there.
Subira, you're up.
Yeah, she is. She's gonna go ahead and step out. And she's gonna go ahead and cast Hellish Rebuke on him. So Dex save.
Isn't that just a reaction, or do you have that as an actual spell?
I have it as an actual spell.
Oh, Fox, you're muted.
One reaction which you take in response to being damaged by a creature within 60 feet of you that you
Oh,
can
my
see.
bad. Let's see here. Let's just go ahead. You're gonna make me do it, aren't you?
I don't know what it is, but yes.
Fuck it, Eldritch Blast.
There you go.
Don't say it like
Good
that.
warlock.
Sass me. Once again, one good, one bad. So I imagine an 11's not gonna hit him.
It will not.
But that's an 18 on the die, so that's 21.
That absolutely will.
Okay, it's 10 force damage. And do I add anything on top of that?
You do
That's
not.
just straight up the force damage. Okay. So that's 7
7, okay.
force damage.
And what does Subira's Eldritch Blast look like?
Pretty similar to how her mind spike was. Only this time it's a sickly green. It almost looks like it's a rotted color. It just looks very unpleasant. And it's got a little bit of a like a gray haze kind of around it, swirling around the beam as it shoots out.
A beam of pestilence. Gross.
Pretty much, yeah. And then she's gonna be like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." Go right back in. And then this guy, since he's in the circle, needs to make a con save.
Okay. On save is a. Ah, God. Come on. Come on, Giants. You're supposed to be tough. Roll to 12.
Okay, so he's poisoned again.
I won't bother taking the symbol off of him.
And then he's gonna use his rotting claw attack. Oh, yay! 22.
That'll hit.
Needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
17.
Okay, so he makes it. And that is. I just lost the math. 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
Okay, and he's gonna rake into him again. And that's same thing again.
That will hit again.
Con save.
26.
God damn, man. This is the one I want you to fail on.
I mean, those are the numbers they should be rolling. They have a +8.
And he actually got max damage on that, so that's 12.
12 damage, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Still a significant amount of damage to this guy.
Yeah, but it would just be really nice if you could just fail just one of those. Just one.
One day it'll happen, but it'll be against like a really weak monster.
I think the group would appreciate me if you failed because of what it could do, but if it's against like a bunny, who cares?
It's going to be a random goblin.
Yeah, it is.
If
Yep.
it's against a bunny, that's the most epic thing ever, and I will love it.
Of course you would. And then I'm gonna hold on. I'm gonna roll for him for his movement. Nope, still has no common sense. So yeah, he's just gonna stay there for right now.
Isa, make a Constitution saving throw for me if you would.
8.
8. Okay, you are going to take 7 points of lightning damage.
So when Yixis lectured her, she probably gave him a look of both annoyance and a little bit of pride because he actually stood up. But when Zara yelled at her, her ears kind of went flat. She will move up here. I think here, that's what, 5, 10, 20. Then I want to push Xerix a square down. I don't have enough movement to move him farther than that, but I want to try and push him out of the circle a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he won't get completely, I don't think, but a square towards that rock.
Since you're using your action to do this, I assume, you can use mechanically the help action, which will allow him to stand up and move down 1 square on his turn without using any of his movement.
Okay.
That will bring us round to
I should probably
Yixis.
give Breen a very apologetic look, because she didn't know what would happen when she stepped inside that dome. Is she not
Now,
smart about magic?
To be fair, she didn't warn you what would happen if you stepped outside of anything. So
She said it wouldn't hurt if I left the circle, but I could leave it, so she left it. She went, okay, I got hurt last time, I'll do it again.
it's fair. Yixis.
I'm just gonna resort to good old trusty and stick my hand outside the dome, flick the coin, it's gonna ring, and cast Toll Dead on dude to the south again.
Okay.
Wisdom
We'll
save,
make that
please.
Wisdom save, and that is an 18.
I think that means he takes no damage.
Ah, yes, because it's a cantrip.
Yes. That is unfortunate. However, let's see what Tiny Servant does.
Tiny Servant is the bane of my existence.
17.
But that'll hit.
I need to get like Empowered Strike on him or like Enlarge Reduce on Tiny Servant or something.
Tiny Servant is being the MVP right now.
Yeah.
That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage as it slams down on him with tiny
6
mandibles.
points of bludgeoning damage. Jesus. That thing has done a lot of damage to this giant. Okay.
Now, if
So,
only I had my familiar to cast touch spells.
Yeah. I think that brings us round to that giant who has to make a con save inside of that moonbeam. Does a 16 save?
16 will save. I think a 16. Yes, a 16 will save.
I'm just really disappointed with all of the con saves these guys are making.
He'll take a whole whopping 3 radiant damage.
3 radiant damage, okay. And looking around, there are no fallen trees or anything within his reach. So I think he's going to go for a grapple on the Tiny Servant. So the Tiny Servant can roll athletics or acrobatics versus his athletics.
That's my character sheet, not the Tiny Servant's character sheet. Well, considering the dexterity on a Tiny Servant is +3 and the strength is a -3, I'm going to go with acrobatics, please.
Okay.
Oh my god. 22.
22. Okay, this guy does have a +6 to his athletics rolls. Unfortunately, he rolled a 3. So I'm pretty sure a 22 beats a 9. and he bends down to grapple this tiny servant, and it just skitters between his feet, and he turns around and goes to grab it again, but it's too quick, and he's just grabbing handfuls of dirt and getting really frustrated. I'm gonna throw him over the cliff.
Can we say Tiny Servant dodges the grasp attack and crawls up his arm and like behind his head or something?
It's just they're annoying him.
Here's what we do, because he does have a second attempt, because he has multi-attack. The Tiny Servant can crawl up his arm and like up on his face, and then we'll do the opposed roll again.
Okay.
And if you beat it by a certain number, he might end up just slapping himself in the face instead of grabbing the Tiny Servant.
Okay. I'm so game for this.
Anyone else getting the feelings of someone trying to catch a fly?
Okay. I rolled really, really well. The number that the giant rolled on the die was a 19 plus 6, so 25.
Well, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but it's funny either way. I rolled a natural 20, but it's for a 23.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. He's going to reach up, and he sees the Tiny Servant on his face, so he just brings his big meaty hand right up and like squashes it against his own face to grapple it. So he's going to take 3, it's called bludgeoning damage, for slapping himself in the face trying to grab the Tiny Servant, but he does successfully grapple the Tiny Servant. But he has no more attacks that round, so that's the end of his turn. What a useless giant. I know these guys are dumb, but this is like Three Stooges.
This whole battle, from like the very first creature on all the way through to these, this is like my favorite fight or extended number of fights in this whole campaign.
It's been a thing.
So good, and that just makes it so much better.
And that brings us around to Xerix, and you are being assisted to your feet and shuffled down 1 square. It does not cost you any movement.
And you muted.
Perfect. Now I have to figure out where I'm going from here. You know what? You're still Hunter's Marked, as much as I don't like you. So we're going to... You know what? We're going 30 feet to there and stay inside the dome.
Okay.
Because that's sort of the best I can do, and I don't have any more hand axes handy. So,
fair enough.
Still maintaining concentration on the Hunter's Mark, though.
Good call.
Actually, you know what? I can double move then. So I'm going to end up there.
Blocking him in. All right.
Flanking! Flanking!
That makes it his turn, unless there's anything else you had that you wanted to do.
Nope. Double move, maintaining concentrations. No, I'm happy.
All right. Let's see which of you 3 he is going to focus his aggression on. Okay, he's going to turn to look at that undead creature that seems to keep him poisoned. He's not very happy about that, so he's going to overhand swing his great club, trying to squish it. Does a 17 hit?
I'm pretty sure that does. Yeah, he's got a pretty low AC. Yeah.
That will be 15, 20 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And he will follow that up with another swing. That is a 19 to hit.
That does hit.
That is good damage. That will be 25 bludgeoning damage.
You, as soon as you do that final one, you see him kind of turn into flesh and dust as the skull just kind of levitates for a moment while the rest of the body disappears and just falls to the ground.
But I believe he remains poisoned until the end of your turn, right?
Yes.
So the poison does not go away with the death of the creature.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, because it's a poison effect. It's not like him casting a spell or anything.
Okay. Green will not say anything. She will just resume focusing on the ritual. Zara, you're up. You are also
I'm muted. Zara's gonna stay right where she's at. She's gonna cast another Cure Wounds on Reen for 9 HP.
9 HP. That is probably a good thing.
And she's just gonna remain there.
Alarmingly low.
Yeah, she's just gonna remain there.
Okay. And Xena, you are up once again.
Alright, I'm gonna slash it.
Do what Xena
Reckless.
does best.
It is what she does best. 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Oh, 12 on a d12. Yay, love it when that happens. It's for a total of 16 points slashing plus 3 points frost.
19 total. That is some hefty damage.
All right, and then second slash. Okay. 24.
That will certainly hit.
Ooh, 11. Damn, this is a good damage round. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 points of damage, of slashing damage. And another 3 points frost.
Ooh,
Big
okay.
damage.
That is big, big damage. And you know what? No, I'm just gonna give it to you because it's badass. It would have left him with 1 HP, but that just doesn't feel right.
Oh, it's okay. I'll Storm Aura, bonus action, 3
there you go.
fire
Yeah.
damage.
Okay. So you swing 2 heavy hits against this guy, and he wavers and has to brace himself with his great club on the ground to stop from falling. And you're having none of that. You engulf him in flames, and he just screams and flails as he starts to burn before falling to his knees. And the last thing he sees before life leaves his body is your grinning face.
Yes. Super happy, victorious, loud yips from Xena. And I guess she will charge over to where she wants to be next with her movement. Let's see if I can get over there so I can get to there. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, and that's it for her.
Okay. Subira, you're up.
Okay. Now that he's dead and her poor Giorgio is gone, she's gonna go ahead and step out, and she is going to cast Yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident. Let's do Mind Spike on this guy.
Mind spike.
So just like
Okay.
before, that pale purple comes right on the center and shoots him through the forehead like a bullet. And
that
it's
was
a wisdom. Let me double check and confirm that. I think it's right. Wisdom, yes.
You rolled a 9.
Okay. So he takes all the damage. Not super beneficial, but also no matter where he is on this plane, I will know exactly where his location is and cannot become invisible or hidden from me. Because I see him through my mind's eye. So yeah, so let's roll that damage. What is that? That is 4d8.
Oof. It is hefty damage.
Gotta find all my d8s.
Well, potentially hefty damage.
Yeah, potentially. And of course, this is all psychic damage. This could potentially be okay. Let's see. 14, 18 psychic damage.
Psychic damage. Okay. He certainly looks a little bit wobbly after that. Brings his hands, one of his hands up to clutch his head, as it is International Headache Day. He too now has a migraine.
He definitely has what I would imagine would be like a very strong brain freeze. It just hurts right there.
Mhm.
And you'll just see her grin, pleased with herself, as she takes a step back.
All right. Iza, anything you're up to?
She'll move a little further back, just in case something happens.
I'll regain to the center of the circle, back to where I was standing. And she's just gonna stare pointedly at her feet. Her ears are probably still flat on her head. But she feels real bad for what happened.
Oh, poor Iza. It's okay. It'll all be better after this. Maybe.
Poor Iza, she
Maybe.
brought it on herself.
All right. Yixis.
Well, aside from me realizing I could have done something to help Iza be helpful in the fight by handing her a crossbow and bolts. But that's what you get when you don't refresh your memory on what you have in your inventory. So, anyways, I'm going to start with Old Faithful, hand out the dome, flick the coin, it's going to ring, and I need a wisdom save, please.
18.
Fine. Tiny servant.
Tiny servant who I should move is here and is grappled, but can attack with no penalty.
Good, because that's a 21.
That'll hit.
MVP right here,
Right.
Tiny Servants.
What we don't know is Tiny Servant is Monk.
A tiny servant is literally just a shrunken down god that that Yixis carries around with him.
Yeah.
That's 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and he would like to spend a key point to cast Flurry of Blows. No.
If only he could. Some hefty damage from that guy.
If I keep him around long enough, can I get him levels of Monk, please?
We'll talk about it.
All right, cool.
All right. Anything else from you or your servant?
I guess I did just cast a cantrip, but no, I don't have any bonus action leveled spells that I can do anything with. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. On to the giant's turn. He needs to make that con save, which is... These giants are such a disappointment. And that one for a total of 9.
Yay! Don't worry, he only takes 7 radiant damage because my dice hate me.
Well, at least someone else's dice hates them today.
I'd rather have my dice hate me tonight instead of tomorrow.
That's true. Well, no, that's not true.
No.
We're on opposite sides tomorrow. Okay, so this giant finally has this bloody servant in its hands. And he's got no weapons or anything. So, what's his movement? Okay. He is going to begin to run at full speed, his 40 feet. And at the end of that 40, gonna reach here. He is going to shot put this servant over the cliff. So let's see.
Tell me how you
far
really
that
feel,
servant-
DM.
I feel like shot putting the servant off the cliff.
You might feel like shot putting the giant off the cliff.
That is gonna be, what is his strength mod? His strength mod is +6 for a total of 25. So he throws that tiny servant and it just goes sailing, disappearing into the night, somewhere far off in the distance, falling off the side of a mountain. At least the giant can do one thing right.
I would like to use a reaction
So
and
that-
cast
that
Featherfall.
moonbeam should be over there still. You are out of range, I'm sorry. You're in the dome, you can't reach out. Doesn't work that way. Featherfall doesn't exist in this campaign.
Yeah, I'll do negative image and switch places with the tiny servant. No.
Now, as much as I would love to revel in the victory of throwing the tiny servant off the cliff, I do understand that that tiny servant has a hover speed because it doesn't have legs. So it'll be fine when it lands, but at least it's out of the battle right now.
Wait, does that mean it can switch directions in air?
No, it has a hover speed. It does not have a fly speed. So it moves by levitating slightly off the ground, basically. So
Yeah, so these
that's
things
its method of walking.
these things last for 8 hours, so it's not gonna make it back up.
All right. Well, at least my giants can do something right.
So enjoy your victory, sir.
I will very much. But that is all he can accomplish in this battle. Apparently, Xerax, it's your turn.
Well. Okay.
This face that the giant is making on that token, that's like, I feel like that's my expression after seeing what he's done this whole battle.
All right. I am going to double move because that is all I'm going to be able to do. And I still have my bonus action, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to bonus action move the hunter's mark onto that one.
Okay.
And that is unfortunately all I am able to do this round.
Okay. So that is that guy's dead. She's concentrating. Zara, your turn.
All right, for my action, I'm gonna move the death laser on top of the giant again.
Okay.
So I need a con save from him.
Oh, Lord. 13.
Going to take 16 points of radiant damage this time.
16 points of radiant. That's more like it.
And then
That's the moonbeam I'm familiar with.
and then bonus action, use healing word on Reen
Okay.
for a total of 5 HP.
5 HP. It's decent for a healing word.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, that's not decent for a healing word.
Minimal heal.
Oh, right, because you have a decent modifier.
Yeah,
That's
I've
why
got a
it's-
+4 mod.
Okay. All right. Xena.
Okay. I want to close the distance. Let me see if I can. I'm so close.
Well, technically the square would be right there. Be on him.
This is 35 though, from where she was at. Oh yeah, he's big though, so
Yeah.
that would be within range.
You can reach him. Yep.
Okay, cool. I gotta slash him. Reckless. That's funny. Both dice were the number 12, plus my modifier is a dirty 20.
Yep, that will hit.
And it's easier. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points slashing, plus 2 points frost.
Of total. All right.
Yep. Second hit. As she slashes again. That was awesome. Yeah, 26.
26 will definitely hit.
Yeah. Another 6. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 points slashing again. Plus
Okay.
3 points frost.
So what does it look like when you bring this guy down?
Yeah. So she's going to run for flavor, if you allow it. She's going to run and kind of like run up him a little bit, and to bring her axe down right on top of his head, like charging up and just slicing right
Nice.
into his skull.
Yep. I mean, if anyone was on the other side of them, they'd see it, but you run up behind him and just bring this thing down overhead, and it bites into the back of his head. And from the other side, you'd be able to see the blade of this axe dig down right about to the bridge of his nose. And his eyes just roll back in his skull, and he drops to his knees and then face plants into the ground with you triumphantly standing on his back.
Just like writing him down. And then she's going to like put her head back and just howl in like a victorious battle cry.
And that marks the end of that battle.
Xena's pumped.
Yeah.
All right. So my useless monsters are dead. Off the thing here.
Sometimes it just be that way.
Sometimes it do just be that way.
There have been many
That's
times in the
okay.
Tuesday game where I'm like, yeah, this monster's going to be great. And you just completely wipe the floor with them and they don't hit anything.
That's okay.
I felt like we had a lot of really happy accidental situational wins that were just really cool.
Fate was
Yeah,
helping
I
us.
think if these giants weren't as dumb as they are, that one wouldn't have been wasting all of his time with the tiny servant, and he would have actually gone into battle and done something.
I mean, let's be honest. Tiny Servant did enough damage to him that he was being whittled down by just that alone.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
That tiny
5,000
servant
cuts.
did almost 20 damage to him, which is significant for a tiny creature versus a huge creature.
So, like, Xena's been in pretty much a perpetual state of rage all day. She's never exhausted all of her rage. So after her, like, she howls and she's all pumped up, and a little bit of time passes, she just was gonna flop, like face first into the ground, asleep.
I think that's fitting.
Dork Tales, thank you for that raid. Very beefy raid.
Yeah, thank you.
So as the rumble of battle ends and the snoring of Xena commences, there is still a ruckus coming from beyond the trees.
Oh, of course there is.
But the tone of it seems to have shifted after the fall of these giants. Rather than an enraged trampling through the woods, it feels like it has slowed almost to a meandering pace, headed in your direction. Instead of the cracking and snapping of tree trunks and branches, there is just the gentle rustle of leaves. Something in the disposition of whatever it is that is attracted to this powerful ritual that is going on seems to have changed. Whether or not that is for the better, only time will tell. But for the moment, you do have a bit of safety with the threats now dealt with.
How's
Your
Reen
tiny
looking
hut
right?
is still up.
How's Reen looking at the moment?
She is panting quite heavily, but the wounds, the burns on her skin that this rebounding lightning damage did to her have been, for the most part, healed by the magic that you have used. Definitely not 100%, definitely not even 50% of what she typically looks like, but she is significantly better than she was after she had been hit by that hefty initial rebound.
I think Zara will drop one more cure wounds on her.
Okay.
For 9.
9, all right. And as soon as you do that, she begins to breathe a little bit easier, and she turns to look at you. And, thank you.
How is she looking even after that?
She's give me an insight roll, because she is starting to waver a little bit just from the sheer amount of exertion that the ritual is causing. So
I mean, I know what I'm doing if I fail, so that is a total of 8.
8. Roll it again, actually. So this would have been an at advantage roll.
That's a lot better. That's a 19.
Given your particular history and the training that you have received, you can tell that she is exhausted from the ritual itself, and she has taken a fair amount of damage, but she's looking a little more relaxed now than she was prior to this fight with the giants.
Okay.
What time of day is it right now?
It is just after 10 p.m.
Okay, so it's pretty late at night.
So, Yixis is gonna step out of the dome and it's gonna.
All right.
And he's gonna walk up to Reen and ask her, do you need any food or water, or is there anything we can do?
I will be okay, but your help will be needed within the hour.
Okay.
She is also going to get back 22 hit points.
22. All right.
For 2 heals, but she needs to survive, please. Thank you.
She is looking significantly better now.
Are the bodies of the giants still there?
They sure are.
And really quickly, before Yixis gets called to help with the ritual, he will start inspecting the bodies for anything that might be immediately useful.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll.
Which dice?
That was the right dice. 24.
24. That was the right dice. All right. Let's see what you find on these bodies. Okay. On giant number 1, which is not the dum-dum that threw his weapon over the cliff, you find tucked away on his belt a very pristine looking rapier. It doesn't immediately strike you as something magical, but rather perhaps something that could be enchanted. Mechanically, it's a +1 rapier. You also find a small pouch that has diamonds worth up to 220 gold. And you find a piecemeal set of scale mail, +1 scale mail.
Are these all giant sized?
That was the
They
question.
are average person sized. Perhaps just something that the giants took off of people that were not as lucky as you guys.
Yixis will grab all this stuff and throw it in the middle where the the dome was, and just kind of generally wave at it with his hand towards anybody who might want to partake, and move on to the other giant.
Okay. On the other giant, give me another investigation roll.
Would I know if Zara needs diamonds for any components for anything she has?
Zara has no such abilities to bring people back from the dead aside from making them skelly.
Okay, so then the diamonds would go into the bag of holding with other valuables. I'm sorry, you wanted another investigation, right?
Yep. One more investigation roll.
Okay, that one is going to be a 22.
22. Okay. Give me a percentile roll.
Sure.
Now, did these giants have the glowy eyes as well?
Yes.
73.
73. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. You don't find much on this guy. As you're about to give up searching, your hand brushes against a small pouch that looked to be tucked underneath the hides that he was wearing. And upon pulling that pouch out and reaching into it, you find a small wooden box about the size of your hand. Opening up that box, you see inside of it a deck of cards.
Oh, you jerk.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you. This is something else. Don't worry.
Okay.
No, let me rephrase. I wouldn't do that to me. This is something else. Don't worry.
There we go. Okay. I was gonna be like, oh man. Surprise, motherfuckers.
Is it situated such that a card must be drawn in order to even look at what they are?
That is a good question. Yes, more or less. The box here and the cards themselves are in pristine condition, which you know at this point is often a sign of some sort of magical enchantment being on the object.
Okay. Thank you for specifying that, because that makes a difference in how he
I think
acts.
you guys have found enough magic items at this point to understand that, yeah, magic stuff doesn't really seem to get dirty for some reason.
if he ends up having to interrupt this in order to help Reen, he will, but he will sit down near Reen and start ritualistically casting Identify on it.
Okay. And yeah, you have enough time to get the Identify off. And what you have found with a very lucky roll is a deck of illusions.
Ooh.
It should be available in the compendium here on Roll20. I believe Deck of Illusions is just out of the Dungeon Master's Guide. So
Okay.
should be there.
And those diamonds you said were 250 gold worth, right?
220, I think I said.
200. Okay, 220. So I'm adding that to the fact of holding notes right now. Did anybody pick up any of the other equipment found? Piecemeal or scale mail?
I don't
Plus
know.
one rapier.
I don't know if I could do the rapier. Let me see here. Is rapier a simple weapon or a martial weapon?
Rapier, I believe, is martial. Let me double check.
Well, anybody can use it. It just depends on if you're proficient with it.
Is
to add your
the
proficiency bonus.
is the scale mail made of metal, or is it a different material?
The scale mail is, let's let the dice decide. The scale mail seems to be made out of some kind of hardened bone.
I think Zara may want to take that since she has nothing.
And yes, rapier is a martial melee weapon.
Well, aside from the scale mail, which is totally fine that Zara takes it, there's really nothing there that Subera can use. So she just kind of looks at it, looks intrigued, and then right back to opening up her book.
Okay. While everyone is doing what everyone is doing, Zerax, you're fairly in tune with nature. Give me a nature check.
Goody. That is a nature of 16.
16? Okay. So you're not used to forested areas, but you have been told stories about them. You have read even a little bit about them. And you have a general idea of the type of wildlife that is to be expected within these areas. You've also been told stories about a phenomenon known as the silence that occasionally happens in wooded areas. And what the silence is an eerie, unsettling mood that just kind of washes over an area where all the insects and all the birds and all the wildlife suddenly go quiet. The wind stops, the rustling of the leaves can no longer be heard. It's just strange and doesn't ever really have an identifiable source to it. And as you're sitting there thinking about this story that you've been told about this silence, you happen to notice that all the insects and all the birds and all the wildlife in the area around you guys has gone quiet.
Oh, good. In my ponderification of this, Is there ever a reason why, or just
That's what makes it so strange. There never really seems to be a reason as to why this happens. It just occasionally happens in deep wooded areas, and more often than not, it just lasts a few minutes, then everything starts making noise again, and the people that experience it just keep on their way. It's just a strange phenomenon.
good? Good. I'm uncomfortable. Um, look around at everyone. Does anyone else hear that?
Hear what?
Hear what?
That's my point.
Is there something coming?
There's nothing. Not a single sound.
Is there something in the woods that may have scared off everything?
You no longer hear or feel the rumbling of whatever it was that was making its way towards you guys. There is no noise.
That's unsettling.
Indeed.
We should certainly keep an eye out.
Possibly
Give me a perception
here
check.
as well.
Subira and Xerax. Perception checks.
Oh Lord, no, not like this.
I like this.
12.
15.
Subira, as you say, we should keep an eye out. You look around your area and you notice that it's gotten a lot darker. You look up, you no longer see the stars or the moon. You look out from the mountaintop that you guys are situated upon, and you just see blackness. As you focus in on this, you notice, thanks to the very faint glow from the ritual circle, that it's not pitch black. What you see is black and very, very dark gray, charcoal gray smoke swirling around the area that you guys are in. And as you're looking around, trying to process what you're seeing, you suddenly see a flash of two red orbs looking directly at you guys. But it's only there for a half second. If you blinked, you would have missed it. And you look around some more and you don't see them again.
Can I make some sort of check to see what the heck that was?
You sure can. What kind of check would you like to do?
Probably an Arcana check to see if this is some sort of maybe scrying spell or some sort of phenomenon that she's read in her books or something. She knows something crazy and hinky's happening.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
22.
22. What you're seeing, you're confident in coming to the conclusion that it is definitely not natural. It is magic of some kind. Whether it's a spell or an ability or similar to those little drake-like creatures, something that just occurs in the presence of a creature, you aren't sure, but is definitely magical. And as you're looking around trying to process this, you once again see a flash of those red eyes in a different spot than before. And they disappear, and you whip your head around, and again you see the flash of those red eyes. And it seems to be occurring more frequently now, but in a different spot every time.
Xerax. There is something watching us. Can you see if it's perhaps planar?
I most certainly can detect portal.
You do not detect any portals in the vicinity.
Well, the good news is there's no planar rifts of any breed in the around us.
In a way that's unsettling because we don't know what it is. It's flashing all around us.
And I don't see this, do I?
Now that it's pointed out to you, you begin to see it as well.
Oh, that's finally eerie.
Yes. Don't know what it is.
How far out is this, if I can gauge a distance?
The swirling black smoke and mist has now closed in enough to the point where it seems to be right up against the cliff side of this mountain. So right where the cliff starts, essentially, that's where the smoke now starts as well. And all of you are now beginning to notice that you are being encroached upon by whatever this is. And you don't really have a moment to discuss it with each other as there's suddenly a loud crack, almost like the sound of thunder. Jolts you awake, Xena. And all of you hear a voice call out from no real distinguishable direction, but certainly from within this smoke. It's been so long since your kind settled on these hills. And that's where we're going to stop for today.
Gary?
Well, shit.
Great. Because we don't have two demon lords fighting between us. Now we have this.
Well,
What's a third one?
It'll be fine.
A third thing.
Well, and then depending on if we were going to do watches, I mean, Subir was going to try reaching out to hers again, but this is creepy.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, everyone, though, for tuning in today. And thank you to the players for sticking around for the full duration of this session. I know everybody was dealing with headaches of various levels today, but you all did wonderfully. This is most certainly not the only show that we have on this channel. You can tune in tomorrow, that's Tuesdays, at 7:30 p.m. Pacific, to see the return, episode 3 now, I believe, of the return of Destiny Forged.
Oh, 121.
Where we are dealing with things. I don't really know how to describe what we're dealing with at this point in that campaign.
We're dealing with feelings.
We're dealing with feelings in that campaign. Do stop by. I believe the start of the session tomorrow is going to certainly be something to see. Aside from that show and this show, every Monday and Tuesday, we also have alternating shows. Excuse me, losing my voice here. Alternating shows on Saturdays. We have that one that we do. Yeah, that one. At 11:30 a.m. Pacific, we have
Withered Waste.
usually somebody types !show in the chat
I'm
by
doing
now,
it
and I
now.
just read
I'm
off
doing
of
it
that.
now. Oh no, I did it wrong. It shows.
you're looking for Wayward Wanderers.
Yep, that's the one. 11:30 a.m. Pacific is Withered Wastes, which is a 5e homebrew campaign that takes place in the same world here as Gnoll Way Out and Destiny Forge. On every other Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific, is Wayward Wanderers, which is a Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by our very own Azarin. They have a full crew now on that show, and it is something. I tuned
It's
in last session. I caught the
amazing.
last half of the game, and they're getting into some stuff in that campaign. I think the next few sessions are going to be really exciting for that one. And aside from our weekly shows, we also have a brand new show called Behold Lore that is going to be airing the first Saturday of every month at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. And that is where we discuss everything related to the lore, history, creation, pantheon, etc. of the homebrew world that we have created for these various campaigns. And we do now have confirmation that on the next Behold Lore, we will have a special guest joining us. It goes by the name of Ravenslark. So do tune in for that. I'm excited.
Woo!
That is going to do it for us today. Thank you again to everyone that tuned in and to the players for sticking it out to the end. We will see you tomorrow.